It's
So
mainly
these are
for
mine.
me. Yeah. I'll probably.
Hey everybody, good morning. Thank you so much for waiting. We had a few little technical issues, but we're up and running now, so we're really excited that you're here with us on Adobe Live. My name is Emily Poulin, and today with me is Matthew Tjokro. He's an amazing illustrator and graphic designer and has a really exciting plan for us today. So Matthew, welcome. Hi, what are you working on today?
Thank you guys. Well, I'm gonna work on a poster that we made yesterday during our our Photoshop for Android demo. So we put together this beautiful poster of pirate ships over like a
Ooh.
clouds kind of ocean with mountain portions in the background and the city, and we're gonna make a cool travel poster out of that. But first we'll kind of dive into kind of what I do so you as viewers can understand more of what I make. So I'm mainly a graphic designer illustrator, and I kind of have blended those two together. Kind of just diving a little bit into my work so you can kind of see what I like doing. I love doing kind of stipple brush stuff with vector. So I love making things in Illustrator and kind of just building it out as a vector. So that's kind of my bread and butter. So whatever we did yesterday in Photoshop, I'm gonna bring that into Illustrator. And yeah, so this is just a little bit of my work.
These are amazing. You are phenomenal at what you do.
Thank you. I love vector illustration, and it's been so much fun just kind of pouring my all into figuring out this program. So yeah, but to that point about this program, there are some new features that have come out recently, both in the release of last month. Oh wait, it's June, so the release of April.
Oh my gosh, time is flying.
Time is flying.
Know for 2025.
And we'll kind of dive into some of these in the April release. So there's stuff for the new transform features. Honestly,
Cool.
This is crazy. I've started using this a lot more in Illustrator, and I'll kind of get into that more with some of my example work, and then we'll dive again into the poster. But there's stuff happening with the blend tool, the transform effects, and everything is generally running a lot smoother than it has in the past.
I love that. I think something that we're gonna highlight today is kind of like what an older workflow would have looked like and what like these new features are allowing you to do either faster or better or in a more efficient way, right?
Yeah, exactly
Cool.
that. Exactly. So some fun stuff as well, but something that was super cool that I saw last night is image traces. So cool, but we'll get into that as we kind of move along. Here is some of my example work yet again that is not on my portfolio site that I've been working on, just kind of bumping up that vector illustration. So here,
Wow, there's a lot of detail going on here.
crazy amount of detail. All of these are individual, let's see. This is gonna be crazy. I'm gonna expose myself. Outline mode.
Those are clean. Those are amazing.
Thank you. It's all right. It's okay. It happens. There's some work I'm exhibiting now. It's just part of a bigger poster thing that I'm
cool.
doing later today for a show at school that I'm gonna make it down to
You're
in
hoping
Los
to make it back
Angeles.
in time.
Yeah. And some artwork that I'm working on right now. This is literally what I've been working on as a lighting study for
Wow.
Superman. I'm a big fan. So yeah, but let's dive into this poster. So this is what we made in Photoshop for Android yesterday.
Oh, wow.
This is kind of what I
Epic.
meant. Yeah.
Okay, I'm seeing, everything you described. It's right there.
Everything I described is right here. So I have the temporary text here. I have this pirate ship in kind of our center focus for this kind of like travel poster of, we want to invoke the sense of destination of travel. So we have the city in the back, we have these directional clouds, and we have another pirate ship in the back just to elicit more of that travel feeling.
Nice.
So here I have some of these assets from this Photoshop file here. And in the past, I'm just gonna draw it out very simply in this, actually I'll draw it here just so that we can see. I'm gonna draw just a very simple pirate ship shape just to show what I used to do. So I'm just doing this out on
the trackpad,
my
less.
trackpad, and then I'm just gonna, my keybinds are not what they used to be. So I'm just gonna erase out this part so we get a very basic pirate ship shape. What I used to do was I would hit Effect, 3D, 3D Classic, and then 3D Rotate.
Wow.
To get these different angles here, right? And then I would move this perspective up just to get more direction. But now I don't really need to do that the way that it used to anymore, because now Distort is amazing. Now I can just hit these just like you can in Photoshop.
Great.
And I don't have to do any of that weird finagling that I used to. And I actually used this in our Photoshop for Android demo. So this pirate ship was not originally angled the way that it is, but for this poster, I wanted to do that to add some more direction. So yeah, that's how we're doing this here. But I think
what's really cool too is to like have tools that you're used to using in other programs like Photoshop,
exactly,
where you'd have to jump back and forth, but bringing them all together in one program just really speeds everything up and just makes your life so much easier, right? And to have a similar like approach to it of, oh, I can do this in Illustrator or Photoshop really just opens up more opportunities, which is great.
It's been really nice. I think like as I've kind of got into it with more Adobe programs, I've been able to use them more cross-compatibly. And again, like if I need to make a poster so much quicker, you can do something called kit bashing, where you just combine different elements. These are all, some of these elements are from pictures I've taken, others are from Adobe stock that are all available for you in the current Android for beta or Photoshop for Android beta that's out right now. So kind of kit bashing those elements together to build this poster out. So I have a reference of, oh, this is what this shape has to look like for these sails. This is what the lighting should look like in the background, to then go into Illustrator when I'm not mobile or not like on the train, for example, and go back on my computer and finally build this out, and it'll be a lot quicker. But something that is super amazing that I mentioned earlier is that image trace is just so much cooler now. So I'm gonna make a copy of this so we have a reference of what it used to look like, and then we're just gonna hit image trace.
Also, I just want to say hi to chat really fast. We're super glad that you're joining us on YouTube and Behance. I'm seeing people saying hi. Andy's in chat. Jeff is in chat. If you guys have any questions or compliments, people are saying this looks amazing already. Feel free to drop that in the chat, and then we will relay that on the stream. But glad you guys are here and joining us today.
Right. Look at this detail.
Oh
so this is its black and white version, so we don't have any color here yet. So one of my favorite presets is 3 color. I love working in simple colors. So let's just kind of see what this gives us.
And do you have different image tracing protocols, I guess, for depending on what the result is? If you're like, hey, I just want to focus on silhouettes, or I need this to just be a vector. Like, do you use different ones from the drop down, or are you pretty much using 3 color consistently?
I mainly use either just the black and white or the 3 color, because if I'm using the black and white, it gives me the silhouette. I can up the threshold here to give me more of that image back. So, wow, it is honestly crazy how much detail it's giving us. We're getting the netting from kind of like the mast section here. Oh my gosh, I don't know any ship terminology. But it's giving us a lot of shading information too, just in black and white. We're getting kind of this like cross hatching here with these sails as well. So I think it's really impressive now. And I'm just gonna go back to black and white, because it was actually, or 3 color for that reason, because it was giving us something really nice, this kind of 2 color version even, because it's giving us both the white background, this tan color here, and this brown as well. But let's even see maybe bumping it up to 16 colors, what it might give us, because it'll give us a lot of shading information too with the colors between each shadow, between the colors of the ship and the shadows. Wow! Check that out. We get, yeah, it reads almost identical. It feels like this is on parchment paper almost as well. Is it giving us shading information in the back? No, it's not. So it's giving us all these whites here, and it's giving us all these like tan to brown colors. So it's giving us this color range here. And man, this
also, that was
really
almost
good.
instant. Like, I feel
that
like
was almost
also,
instant.
It used to take a longer time, right, for this to come together. And not only is it faster, but it's way more accurate too, which is impressive. So, yay, Illustrator team! Thank you so much for these updates.
Thank you so much. I very much appreciate it. But we'll go for more of a classic travel poster look. So I'm going to hit 3 colors because it gives us that kind of limited color screen print feel. We'll kind of decide on colors maybe in this stream or the other stream that we'll be doing as part of the 2-parter, but this is giving us something really nice. And just kind of to get more of this information, we're gonna just play around a little bit. So stuff like this, I'll try to bump up the noise, see what I get, but if not, we can always just add that information in post after we render out this image trace by just hitting expand. So I don't think it gave us anything super different, so I'm just gonna hit Command Z on that and let it kind of load out. Do you use image trace at all?
I do use image trace.
Yeah?
Yes, but I use it a little bit different than you, so it's always interesting to see like how people are using it.
Right.
I think you touched on something very interesting, which is, hey, I'm gonna use a 3-color version because I want it to feel more like a screen print. And like, I feel it for people to understand that a little bit more. Screen printing, you pay by color, and it also is broken out by color. So if you're gonna be doing something like that, typically you reduce the amount of colors that you're using. And so I think it's cool that you could use this tool in a way that's gonna get that style way faster, right?
Yeah. So I'm going to, now I think I'll run with this. I might do some edits later.
Nice.
Maybe, let's see. I'm just gonna play around with the paths first. This, for me, doesn't normally change much, but let's see if anything will happen. Nothing substantial, but I will just use this as is. So I'm just gonna hit expand. It gives us all this information we need here, but everything's kind of cut out in certain, oh wow. Check that
that's
out.
cool.
It is cool. So I essentially hit right here in this image trace function. I'll just hit this again. I just hit this section.
It didn't used to function that way, right?
It had that capability, but it wasn't as smart as it is now.
Normally it would cut it out of the back, so it would have like the ship outline still punched out.
Right,
so that's interesting that it's separated.
Yeah.
Okay,
wow,
updates.
That's okay. That's really good. So I think what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna hit go into this group, so I isolate this mode. I'm gonna hit select, same fill color, and I'm just gonna delete that. So it gives us this silhouette, this beautiful pirate ship silhouette. So I'm going to just drop this here. Look at that. We already have a majority of our travel poster done. Yeah, exactly that. Let's see, is there anything that we need to fix here? No, there isn't. I quite like where we are headed right now. Oh, I'm actually even designing in the wrong layer. I prefer designing in the first layer that we were given in every Illustrator file, the blue one. So let's see. I have this pirate ship here, and let's do our second one. Let's see what this gives us. So I'm just gonna hit Command copy, Command paste, give us another version.
And you're doing that so it's non-destructive, right?
So it's non-destructive.
If this doesn't go the way that you'd hoped, you don't have to
Exactly.
backtrack.
Dude, that image, that was instant. That was impressive. That
was immediate, yeah.
I'm gonna hit 6 colors. So it gives us some more information. This is really nice already. I think I might just use this, and I'm just gonna hit this overlap feature as well, same as we did earlier.
And what is the overlap feature doing?
So it's essentially, it's making it so that all these shapes are over one another as opposed to knocking them out. So for example, here, we see that we can move this element around. So thank you for pointing that out. It's not something I always do in my workflow, but this is what we'll do to get that quick travel poster look. So I'm just gonna.
Is that new to this version of Illustrator, or sorry, of Image Trace?
No, that function has always been here, but kind of to that point we mentioned earlier, it is so much more advanced than it used to be. So it's really cool that we have that now. And let's see, this already is looking pretty good. I'm just gonna hit expand, and we're gonna just get rid of maybe just this white background, because what I want to do is I kind of want to hit select, actually no, I'm gonna do edit colors, recolor artwork. So we're gonna kind of get the averages here. So if we kind of look in our advanced options, we have a lot of color. We have the 6 colors we asked for, but maybe in some ways we can check, see if we can get some different colors. So I just hit 3, so it should be monochromatic now between those 3 colors, but let's see. It's not giving us exactly that, so I'm just gonna hit recolor again, go into our advanced options, hit 3 one more time. Oops, I hit enter immediately. I'm gonna hit, go back to recolor, advanced options. I'm going to select 3, and in this drop down, I'm going to hit exact. So it gives us that exact information, and it gives me that shading information, the one I was looking for. So that was really nice. And I think, let's see, are these knocked out? Oh, these ones are knocked out. Interesting.
And so knockout means that it's either cut out or subtracted from the, what's it called? Like the color
exactly
behind
that.
It, right? So it's
exactly
gonna be blank
that.
and not gonna be a filled shape.
And I think it's okay that it's looking a little messy. I think that's fine. Oh, I love these colors actually. I think they complement each other really well. I'm just going to really quickly go in with our eraser tool and just kind of like straighten some of this out. I know it'll be covered, but it's just mainly for my own peace of mind. So
I get that. You're like, I can't move forward until I do this.
Exactly.
Just take care of this.
Right. And I think the silhouettes of these are super important, especially getting them clean. It helps illustrate that for a travel poster at least, because again, shapes are so important in what we do, especially as vector illustrators and making a poster. You need that clean information, especially when you're emulating a screen print, and then maybe we'll add those details later. Oh, so using the erase tool, we're able to kind of get a lot of these shapes the way that we want. I'm also just going in, deleting some points, but honestly, like I'm so used to using this eraser tool kind of as is, because it's pretty accurate, as you can see, kind of just going back, just seeing kind of where these curves are. It literally got it like to the T, so that's pretty good for this. I'm just gonna select this once again, hitting the erase tool and just fixing out these little points, and I think it'll give me what I'm looking for right there. So I'm just gonna hit bring this down. This is our expanded version, and I just drop that behind our pirate ship. And I think in a way to frame it, I'm just gonna put it right there for now.
Nice.
Right? And
my head is totally blocking it, sorry.
no, you're totally fine. That's right. That's right. I totally forget that it's screen sharing in that way. So now what's next? I think we should, what do you think we should do? Should we do the type, like show those effect features?
I don't know. Yeah, honestly, let's go to type. We did some illustration. Let's mix it
Okay,
up.
great. What should we do for our type? I put this as a placeholder. We did that together, but the copywriting isn't necessarily where I want it to be. So do we have any suggestions maybe from the chat, or do you have any suggestions?
Okay, what's the vibe we're going for? Like pirates in the sky?
Pirates in the sky.
Okay. All I can think of is Treasure Planet now. Honestly, it was one of my favorite movies as a kid.
Right. Oh, man, Megan said Peter Pan yesterday too, and I was like, oh, I definitely see it. The pirate ships, I think, especially for people like us, it just like emulates that so much.
Absolutely.
So yeah.
Okay, let's think on it. Chat, do you want to think on it as well? So we want some type or a title for this poster, right? Or is it like destination based, or it's
I don't know. Maybe it will be destination based. So I guess it's coming up with like this. What if?
Or we can think on it, and maybe you tackle the sky or the city or something. As we come up with some ideas.
So I think what I'll do right now, I'll just kind of really quickly block out where I want these clouds to be. So I'm just gonna take my brush tool, and on my mouse pad, I'm just going to kind of just do this shape as you see here. So kind of, it's not as perfect as I'd liked it to be, but I think it's good enough. So I'm just gonna hit smooth right here. I'm just going to trace that out so it gives us kind of a good shape as well. So going in pen tool, I'm going
Andy
to
in
just...
chat says, I'm so bad at copy. You're in good company today. We're all struggling.
Oh, you're
a
in
little bit.
great company. Believe me, one of my great friends is a copywriter, so normally I can just always rely on him for something that's really good.
Hey,
Exactly. Right, so I'm just going in with my smooth tool here. I have it keybind to 1. So I'm just gonna go in, fix this up a little bit. Yeah, smooth tool is really great. I love that it gives me pretty much exactly what I need. So I don't have to necessarily go in with my pen tool and block that out, because sometimes it doesn't really give me the shape I want that instantly. But the brush tool, it gives me a lot more control as an artist to kind of go in and do those shadings and make it a lot more simple. But to that point about shadings, I'm just gonna kind of go in, outline these shapes a little bit more. You can't really see, let's see. I'm gonna just change this color really quickly to a darker one. Let's see, you can see kind of where I'm blocking these out. I'm not the best at lighting, but I'm trying my best every day. And as long as we're trying, that's as much as we can do.
You're training your eye. Every time you do something, you're training your eye. So.
Right. And I'm kind of going in, outlining where these little bulbs in our cloud would be, and taking these. Actually, what I'll do is I'll copy and paste our cloud base over it, and I'm gonna use this as a clipping mask.
Ooh.
So we're just gonna hit all of this, and I'm gonna hit Command 7, and it gives me that shape cut out exactly the way I need it. So I'm just gonna hit reverse on these to give us that shape. And sometimes I will use the warp tool so you can navigate to your your tool table here, and then hit the warp tool. And I love being able to just push this around, holding Option, resizing this the way that I need it, so I can go in if I need right here, if I want to get this section here, I'm going to hit Option, get this smaller section so I don't affect the rest of that shape. And then using that in a combination of smooth tool is really nice, and it gets me what I'm looking for. And it helps increase my workflow so fast, because I used to just, again, use the pen tool to mark that out. And it's so much nicer, and being able to have that kind of difference and not make it feel very mathematical, I think is really important for some vector illustrations, especially with what we're doing today.
It kind of makes it feel more like a medium, like you're moving paint around, right?
Right,
Instead of being as mathematical as Illustrator is, which is a huge benefit. It gives you that freedom and kind of that natural movement, which is cool.
Exactly. No, that's a great way to put it. So I'm just going in, smooth tool. I'm just gonna extend this point out so we're not getting those edges there.
Nice.
Let's see. Just direct selecting using, sorry, I normally have my keybind set up, but for some reason today they're not on.
It's always how it's on a live stream.
It's
You're like,
how it's on
my
a
program's
live stream.
always set up, but today, it's doing something weird.
Right. And then I'm just gonna, this is my last piece of shading, so I'm just gonna drop this back in and direct select, or sorry, eyedropper tool, I'm totally wrong about that. And then just kind of smoothing out these edges here, and then maybe
cool.
drop this down a little bit so it gives us more of that shading information. This isn't perfect, but it's a great starting off point as well. I'm actually going to, let's see, I don't know how to do this directly. Let's see, can I just do my keyboard shortcuts? I'm going to change my warp tool to, let's see, I'm going to change my shortcut to R.
So chat, if you didn't know this, you can customize a lot of your commands and keyboard shortcuts in Illustrator, either reassign things or assign new ones. So if you are using the same tool over and over again, definitely look into this. This is how you do it. Wait, it's this way. This is how you do it. And it can make your process so much faster. So to customize it to what you need.
So instead of kind of going and using Command R, I am just going in and hitting R because this is my go-to tool and I need to be fast, especially if I'm doing this for a client that needs this ASAP.
Which all clients seem to be on the timeline of ASAP.
All clients seem to be on the timeline of ASAP. It is crazy. I'm just gonna make this shape a little bit bigger so that we can actually move this clipping mask around if we want. That's kind of what I love about this warp tool is I can move this clipping mask around and it still retains that blue information that I need. So again, it's about streamlining your workflow, and this is kind of what I found works really well for me. So I'm just kind of pushing all these elements that I need and not necessarily worrying about how accurate this information is until a lot later when, you know, I really need it to be. I think right now, especially when you're delivering artwork as maybe a JPEG or a PNG, I need to remind myself this constantly. Some clients don't need it to be perfect.
Right.
Some clients don't need things or vector points to be totally aligned. Some clients are just looking for artwork, and I am just a perfectionist in some cases, and I think a lot of us are as designers, so I think that's part of it.
Okay, chat has come up with some good ideas.
Right.
We're hearing either something Neverland or Goonies, or someone said maybe adventurous, like All Aboard or Adventure Awaits.
I like Adventure Awaits
I like that one too.
A lot.
We're aligned. Okay, great.
We're aligned.
Thank you, chat. We appreciate you,
Thank
Tanya.
you. Let's see. I'm going to just match this color really quickly, and we're going to dive into some type. That's so dark. Let's see. I'm going to change this just to, I'm going to just use my eyedropper tool, drag this down. It gives us
going
a good
manual.
color. Going manual. Just temporary. It's a temporary fix, I swear. And we're going to just go in and just type Adventure Awaits. What a beckon and call. That's awesome. Oh. At least I got the rest of that right. I typing on stream live where people can see it. It's chaos.
Okay, so you had a font already chosen. There was no hesitation.
No, I like just picking things out and seeing what works. I have a lot of fonts saved both locally on my device, but also through Adobe Fonts. There are some amazing options on Adobe Fonts, so going through there is always a blast.
Do you sort your fonts?
No, I don't.
Okay.
I have a separate file somewhere in my huge directory of artwork that has fonts. But I actually have not designed with fonts in a while. I've been really focusing on artwork.
Okay.
So it's been a while for me to kind of just pick some fonts that I like. But I'm just gonna pick some options here so that we can really decide something that we all like together. I kind of want something that is a little bit more squished together so that it can fit on this poster so that it's not too wide. Sorry, I also don't know my font terminology. You're
totally fine. You can refer to fonts as however you want. They are your fonts, and you get to have your own relationship with them.
Oh, that's true. That's true. Oh, this is cool.
Oh, that's fun.
This kind of matches that written aesthetic. It just looks hand-drawn to a way with all these like sharper edges.
Totally.
So it kind of matches that. So I'm just going to leave this, and it's kind of matching these other ones as well. Let's see. I'm going to pick one more that's a little different than these. Spend some time just kind of flipping through my font library.
So I even just go through the filter. Do you ever use your filter?
Oh my gosh.
That's what I would say. Yeah. So you could do. I would do this one.
I have nothing.
You have nothing.
I have absolutely nothing.
On second thought.
I have nothing.
Okay. Maybe a serif font? I guess you already have one.
Let's see. Nope. And
That's
for those
so
of us,
funny.
for those of here that don't know what a serif means, what does that mean?
A serif are in just really casual terms, are the little pointy, more official feeling parts of a letter versus a sans serif that doesn't have any ornamentation to it. It's just very straightforward.
I see. Cool.
Is that a good way to say it?
Yeah. Thank you specifically for doing that for our viewers and not anyone else in this room. Let's see. I think. Oh man, this is like a standard font you see. I feel like on any
Cooper's
sign.
a classic.
Cooper's a classic. It has to be.
You can't go wrong with the classics. But I do feel like you have some really fun, like pirate, ocean, hand lettered at sea feelings of these ones you've chosen.
I think I'll leave this because I think this feels like a travel poster as well. And we'll do a lot of editing to this kind of as well. And I know a lot of people don't always like to edit their text, but I love doing it. I think it's part of the art form, especially when you're just trying to have a lot of fun. So yeah, Emily, is there anything here that like stands out to you that we should use?
I like that last one. They all have different type voices, and
Yeah,
the
they
right
do.
type voices is like what you're reading without actually reading it.
Yeah.
I think the last one feels the most like travel agency, kind
Okay,
of more
cool.
official businessy, and the
Right.
first two feel a little bit more like piratey at the ocean. So whatever vibe you want to go for.
Great.
What do you
cool.
think?
I think we'll go for that last one. This
All
really was
right.
speaking out to me as well. So it's kind of, it's cool. It sits there, and I think in some cases this really works well. But I kind of really want to make this pop, and I think making our poster surrounding like this element is going to be really cool. So right now, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to hit G. So I'm just Command G. I'm just going to group this so that whatever else we put in here will follow the effects that help. So let's see, I'm gonna hit warp and arc. So again, like this is a great way to like move shapes around, come up with some fun ways to get everything, like as we said, like we're designers, sometimes we want things to be perfect. And for me, like using this warp tool helps all these effects that I do like look perfect, and it gives it more of a uniform look. For example, if I'm going to hide this appearance really quickly, so I'm just going to select this, hide my warp, and I'm just gonna add, for this example, just gonna add a rectangle underneath it so it highlights a little bit more what's happening here. So I'm gonna drag this into the group and hit arc, and it gives us that perfect angle that is parallel with this line here. So this gives us something fun. But I wanna add some direction to this right now. So I'm just gonna zoom out so we can see more of it. I'm just gonna hit effect, not effect. I'm gonna hit my appearance panel, hit warp, and let's see, I'm gonna move this around. So it gives us some options that we can play around with. Oh, wow.
Studio manager, bless you. You got some sneezing happening over there.
Dude, it's springtime still. It's crazy. And let's see, rise is a fun option. Ooh, gives us that really nice
That is very
small
classic
wave.
travel.
It is very classic travel. I think we'll go around with this. And let's see, I'm going to just play around with these settings a little bit more. I'm gonna use this, drag this back so we know what we're working with.
So much more personality to it. I love it.
Adventure awaits. Beckon and call.
Andy in chat is saying bless you to the studio manager as well. So chat's here for you too.
Right. Let's see. I think some of this is cool, but I don't like this angle here. So what I'm just going to hit object transform. I'm just going to hit shear. So I'm just going to see what options this gives us. I'm just going to hit, right. Oh, that's right, because I think it's not an expanded text. Let's see. What do I want to do? Am I married to this before I expand it? That's another question I have.
You can always add it to the side of the board, right? Like copy
Right.
paste it and then come back to it.
That's exactly
That's
what
my
we've been
art
doing
form
up
is. Yeah.
here. So yeah.
We don't have to commit. We like to have options.
True. Maybe I think what I'll do as well is I think to that point about making copy, I'm going to make a copy right now, and I'm also just going to hit save.
Just in case.
Just in case.
And here we are,
so 9:38, we know what we're working
pressing
with,
save.
right? Exactly. So I'm just going to hit. I'm going to separate these two actually. And so I'm just gonna delete my awaits. So again, it kind of saves that information and where this line was, but the effects only follow to where the bounding box of our group is. So if I move this down, it'll also change the effect that's happening to adventure as well. So then,
that's because you changed the length of the rectangle underneath.
yes,
Is that
exactly.
correct? Okay.
Our bounding box, our little blue guys outlining our text here. Again, you can't see it because everything's warped in our group. So I'll just kind of undo that right now. So adventure is highlighted, but I kind of want to give it like a more markery feel. So I'm just going to use my pen tool here just really quickly with my mouse pad. Do that, and I'm going to find a brush profile here. So what I love doing to get really cool widths is, I like to go and make custom width profiles and save them. They'll save across your Illustrator profiles. These are our basic ones that come with Adobe Illustrator, but these are all the random ones that I have saved.
Ooh.
Let's see, we can use this. I think it'll give us like a good look. Oh, nice. So it almost looks like someone went down here with a pen and outlined it. It kind of puts, let's see, and then you can go into your stroke window here and then put more of an emphasis on adventure.
There was a lot of rhyming words in there.
A lot of rhyming words.
We did not set you up for success there.
Right. And I can go into my width tool here in our toolbar, right? And we can edit this as we see fit. So it gives us some variability in this line, so it's not just a straight rectangle. Oh,
I'm right
what
over
if I
it.
just there?
That'd be
You don't have to
perfect.
move
Thank
your
you.
head. There you go. And then I'm just gonna edit this a little bit. gives us exactly what I'm looking for. And let's see, I'm gonna hit rise again. Oh, nice. That's really
love
good.
that.
That's really good. And let's see, I don't want to squish that E too much, so I'm gonna.
We want it to be readable, legible,
Want it to be
right?
legible, exactly. And I think maybe even if we have this adventure kind of maybe a little bit bigger, but to that point, good thing I made that copy. I can just go back and then delete my adventure from our version here.
There you go.
So it gives us what I'm looking for. So I want to have this sit here.
I love that.
So let's see. I'm just gonna get rid of this rectangle for now. It's still in our group. I just deleted the component by direct selecting, and here we have adventure awaits. Here it's just black, so we're gonna add some color eventually, but right now this is kind of the text that we've been given. So I'm going to just make that a little bit bigger. Oh, I love the way that the clouds are kind of just helping shape that a little bit more.
That's great.
So just as a placeholder, I'm just gonna I'm just gonna copy it over, hit transform, reflect, and then make it just a little bit different.
Nice.
Drop this, arrange, send to the back. So it gives us something more. And then just to add that depth, I'm just gonna hit my recolor artwork. I'm just gonna make this darker, or this is saturation. Let's see, I'm just hit reset.
I always go to the
I
advanced
know,
options. I don't know how to use that panel that you're
getting
getting right now.
So yeah, it gives us this option here just to add some depth. Let's see, will it show if I hit present mode? This is so far what we have. I'm gonna move it right here.
Oh yeah, wrong way.
So for this base of our poster, this is looking really nice. I'm really happy with what's going on here. Let's see, what else can we add in the moment? We don't have too much time left.
You have about 10 minutes left, a little bit, 13 minutes.
So maybe we'll focus a little bit more on type and just kind of continuing that out.
Yeah. Chat is loving what you're doing. Jeff says it looks like old school sports text.
It
does. Right, like a
does.
jersey. Super classic.
I always tend to go back to that. You're right.
It's great. And then Manuel says, I love the warp tool.
Oh.
So true, Manuel. You are in good company.
Oh, right. I'm just going to edit some of this because I think I really like what's happening here. I'm going to hit Command Copy, and I'm going to paste it to the side so we have a version of that. Command G, and I think I'm in love with this, so I'm just gonna hit expand appearance.
I think we've done it. I think
we've done it.
Yeah.
I think we've done it.
Adventure has arrived.
Adventure is here. Why wait when it's here? I'm just going to hit. I think I'm married to this, so I'm just gonna hit Command 8 to make it a compound path. Same thing with this, so that these elements stay together. These elements stay together. Because what I'm gonna do next is I'm going to Command Copy, Command Paste over this. So it has our group information here, and I know we're supposed to name our components, but sometimes you just gotta go with the flow.
There's a certain kind of person who names their layers. It's not me.
It's not me. It's not me at all.
It's you.
It's not me at all.
Amazing.
I'm gonna hit Command 8 with this group that we have on top of our other one, and I'm going to make an outline of this. So let's see. I'm just trying to get this shape for our outline, so these colors are not final, but I want to show you guys what you guys can do with the blend tool because it is so powerful and it's so much stronger now in this newer version of
Illustrator.
Of Illustrator. I had made this poster initially in Photoshop, so I was getting a little confused myself. So I'm going to drop this.
Wow, that red is red.
Oh yeah, it's red,
Make
but
my
for
eyes
me,
go away.
for me, it helps understand more about the shape and getting those differences. So sometimes I get married to it. Other times I try not to, but it's giving us that nice Adobe red for being here in studio. I'm gonna select both of these compound paths here. You can either direct select them from the artboard. I just kind of go into my layers panel. You can hit your blend mode, hit 1, hit 2, and it'll make that blend mode for you, so you don't have to go into object, blend, and then make or.
Wait, yeah, walk me through it. That's typically how I do it. Okay, we're using the blend icon or panel.
Here, I'll do it on the side.
Yeah, one more time for me and for everyone in chat who I'm sure wants to see it again.
I'm going to select my blend tool. I'm going to select. Oh, you have to have everything selected first. Go into the blend tool, hit the circle, hit the square, and it makes it for us. So we don't have to go into the window. Yeah, so if you can't always memorize keystrokes like I do, you can either go into your keybinds or you can do it straight from the tool panel. So I'm going to kind of go into our blend here and then I just hit Command A to select all of it and then go back to the blend tool and you can just double click and it gives us the blend options.
I just practiced. I'm gonna use this on my stream because I was gonna be doing a blend path, so I'm gonna use this now.
So I'm just gonna hit specify distance and you know, sure, I'll just do 1 pixel. Let's see what we can do. Wow.
That's always the game. You're like, how many?
How
need to
many?
be in here?
So it gives us that drop shadow look. It builds out that shape for us, and because it's set to 1 pixel and it's rounded, you can barely see the line. Now that I'm looking at it, I can see the line. But again, you can expand that out, fix it later. That's kind of mostly what I do. And let's see, that's looking really nice. But also, you can do a few tricks here as well, because this is a blend mode. You can also play with the shape, so you can actually like make that size even smaller to change. Oh, I think I just moved the whole thing. Oh, I see. So this is behind my blend. I can even just drop this down right here, and it changes the direction of this. So wow, it gives us a lot of great lines to use just right here. Oh, that's
so
nice. That's cool. But I don't like this little like space that we're given here. So maybe is there some way I can block it? Let's see. I can drop this here and then squeeze it a little bit more to this side here. Yeah, wow. So it gives us this really nice shape because of our underline here under adventure. And in a very roundabout way, I'm just gonna draw the shape. That's also what you can do. I tend to do this for my shading. You saw this with the clouds, and now you see it with our text here.
It went all the way to the back.
No, actually, I copied it and I deleted it. That tends to be what I do. So especially, I'll just group these, and I'm just gonna paste that right back into our shape.
And now
so
it's
boom.
back.
Now we have adventure awaits.
Amazing. Allison Whalen says hi and says, yes, the blend tool is awesome and super helpful for effects like this.
God, it is great.
You're so right, Allison.
It is. I'm going to hit edit colors and recolor this artwork. And I'm just going to, let's see, what if I just hit remix? What if it just gets, or
do generative recolor. Is that what you're looking for?
Right, let's do that. Let's do that. Let's see.
Pirate ships in the sky. Let's see.
Yeah, let's see.
That might be too big. I don't know.
It'll maybe give us a little bit.
Maybe we need like
a blues,
vintage.
some browns. Oh, it's just giving us that
just
red.
more red.
I think what I've been actually practicing recently, I used to use recolor a lot more, but I also love dragging in images into my artboard,
cool.
hitting color theme picker, and then just clicking something else. So boom, it gives us that color we're looking for that quickly, and that's so nice. Let's see, I'm gonna look into the advanced options, see what's going on underneath the hood here, and let's see. Okay, so it's making, the black is staying as black, so I'm going to just really quickly make that into the color that we need. I just double clicked that. It just kind of did it in the way that I needed it to.
Thanks, Illustrator.
Thanks, Illustrator. That's really nice. That's really helpful. And actually, I can even just like switch this around if I'm not necessarily digging that. Oh, perfect. That's
better
great.
Contrast, yeah.
Better contrast. I'm liking that a lot. So let's see. Unfortunately, we're not going with the sunset look just yet, but we have this kind of blues and browns that we're really playing with. So if I just hit presentation mode, let's see. Oh, perfect. That's giving us what we need at the moment. So let's see. I'm going to add really quickly this landscape here as we've kind of finished up our text there. Stretch out this line. Again, we don't always need perfect lines, and I think sometimes, especially if we're doing the ocean isn't perfect. No one
Newsflash.
is. Newsflash.
Ocean's not perfect.
Newsflash, there are waves. It's a wave of information for sure. Let's see, I'm going to hit
If you're
arrange.
just joining us, Matt has been working on this really cool destination travel theme poster, but there will be a part 2 to this later today.
Yes, there will be.
So we're gonna wrap this up in the next 5 minutes or so.
Right.
And then I'm gonna be designing some hot design summer, some poolside merch and menus. Thank you for laughing at that title. Then Jess Cabato is gonna be joining us and doing some lettering and illustration for mural-inspired design work. And then Matt, you're gonna be back doing part 2 of this destination poster.
Yep.
And then there's gonna be another stream as well at 1 p.m., 5 ways to express yourself in any language. So definitely stick around. We have a big day for you and really exciting stuff on the schedule. So.
Right.
All right, what do we do in the last 5 minutes here?
Last 5 minutes, we're gonna see how much of this composition we can get done. Because essentially, this was supposed to be a rush job. We were supposed to be kit bashing this. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just going to use my brush tool, using my mouse pad. I'm just going to trace over this shape of this mountain right here. So this is our first mountain, and I see a mountain in the background. I'm going to trace over this one as well, so that we have some differences there, and just finishing out that shape. And let's see, I'm going to hide this reference, pull this, and then drop this straight into our first layer that all this artwork is happening on, and then I'm just gonna send this to the back. So then it's already outlining our mountains right here, and it can kind of identify where this ship is right here. So I think I'm just gonna take this color here, drop this, use the pen tool, finish out that shape, there we go. And then maybe I'll even make this a different color. Maybe I'll make it darker too, actually, so that we can see some differences as well.
Chat is saying this is awesome, awesome poster.
Thank
the word
you.
of today is awesome.
Awesome.
And adventure.
Right. It's adventure. It's always about adventure. And let's see.
Oh,
so
wow.
we
This
have,
is already coming together. There's already more depth now.
right?
I love
We
it.
have our hills in the background, and then I don't know if I'll do this. I'll do the city. We should do the city.
Let's do the city.
Let's do the city, right? And let's see. I'm gonna make this bigger because I think just to match kind of this direction that we have here, and then also I have to drop this in the back, so I'm gonna send that to the back, so you can see that. I just need to see using presentation mode, just seeing the artwork as a whole. I used to make a clipping mask of the artwork, and I used to have to just go into every layer. So talk about streamline. It's always been there, but with Illustrator, you're always finding new things. So I'm
a big trim view person as well.
Oh,
I just do
really?
view trim view instead of presentation.
Oh, right. Yeah,
but
that's
same
good
thing.
too.
No, I used to do a clipping mask too, and that was silly.
I'm gonna go in here. I'm just gonna trace over some of these buildings here. It's not. This is New York City. This is the skyline, but
I was wondering, where are we? Yeah, I was like, is the building famous?
But again, I've kind of squashed and stretched this with Skew and Distort in Photoshop for Android in my demo yesterday, which you can see in our VODs at Adobe Live. I'm just kind of taking these shapes, just gonna go into my layers panel and just select all of them and then paste them straight in here. So this
Nice.
kind of blocks out where that city is, so that for that first revision that we're gonna have with our client, they can say, oh, I like your ship element. Oh, the city isn't really doing it for me. Can we get rid of this? But giving our client that option, I think is really important, so they can understand what they have going on in their composition or in their story for that matter. So yeah, here's our city that will eventually render out at some point, and let's see. Maybe I'll add a gradient really quickly in the back.
You got time. You got 3 minutes.
I have 3 minutes.
A gradient is basically, 30 seconds.
Right.
With all these updates, so much faster.
I know, right? And then I'm just gonna hit gradient and then make my color selections here. So I kind of want to keep that white. So I'll take, maybe this blue here, darker blue maybe, question mark? Or maybe, I think
Or
part of like playing with these gradients is also like understanding what color comes out between. Because even if I had this at 0% in these portions where it's transitioning to that 0, you see those blues. So I'm gonna switch just the pink. You can see that in pink even though it's at a 0% here. So it's also important to kind of gauge where that is. So I'm just gonna play around with these sliders here.
Yeah, because even if you are just doing 2 colors, there really is a range of colors in between.
Yeah.
So landing that and not getting a color that's like too muddy or like isn't really clear anymore, it does take longer than 30 seconds.
Right.
I don't know why I said 30 seconds. That was wrong.
Something that I used to do too to that topic is
Yeah.
I used to just play around with these angles, but you can just hit edit gradient.
And
I
rotate it.
Yeah, I ignored this tool for so long and finally I'm using it.
It's a little hidden at first, I
It's a
feel
little
like.
hidden at
so.
first, but there we go. And this
Let's
is so far
see.
what we have, and it's looking pretty good. Maybe I'll clean this up between my next stream and your stream. So,
Yes.
right, looking forward to that.
I
But
love it. Well, okay, we have 2 minutes left. Why don't you walk us through where we started, how we got to where we are, maybe call out some features that you did,
Right.
and then we will close it out and get ready for the next stream.
yeah, so for everyone just joining us now, I built this out in my last demo with Adobe Photoshop for Android. So I did this really quickly on a mobile mock so I could bring this back home and work on it in Illustrator. So what I did was I image traced this pirate ship here, which gave us this fantastic result here along with the one in the background here. We used the warp tool and saw how fast it was now thanks to Illustrator's new updates. Same thing with the blend tool to make these really nice shapes so that we didn't have to go in and trace it ourselves, using clipping masks, using the brush pen, and the warp tool. The warp tool, my best friend in Illustrator. So those are the tools that we use today.
I love it. And so then, yeah, stick around. Up next, I'm going to be doing some really fun poolside, almost like luxury pool vacation vibes. So graphic design there and some merch design. Jess Cabato is going to be doing some mural design, and then Matt's going to be back and finishing out the rest of this poster. So if you like what you saw and you want to see more, definitely come back at 12 p.m. for the second part of his stream. But thank you so much for joining and starting your day off with us. We'll be right back.
See you guys around.
We are going to be celebrating Small Business Month by creating some thank you cards that you can send to your favorite small business, appreciating them for what they do. So here we are in Illustrator. So I'm thinking we're gonna do a 4x6 horizontal. So I'm gonna start off with just our classic thank you. So I'm gonna come up here then and I'm gonna type in New Kansas. Look at that. So fun already. Okay, so a hotkey here for you. I'm gonna turn this into outline. So I'm gonna do Command-Shift-O. Another way to do that is right click and create outlines. And what this does is it converts it into a shape. instead of a typeface. So I'm gonna come over to Adobe Color and I'm gonna type in here, I'm gonna do Explore, Vintage Color Pop. I'm liking this. We're gonna download. You can come to your swatches panel, and I went to the little flyout hamburger menu and I went to open swatch library, and then I said other library. And I downloaded the file, and you click open, and then it's gonna load that color swatch in there for you. I'm gonna draw some just like really basic shapes right now. So I'm gonna just drag out an oval, and then I'm going to do effect warp, and I'm gonna go to bulge. I think that's kind of like the vibe I want, but that seems too much. So maybe I'm gonna go around here. So if I come to my appearance panel, you can turn that on and off. So this just means that like the type itself isn't modified, just it's appearing that way. So I'm gonna actually expand that so that the typeface is modified. So I'm gonna do object expand with it selected. And now you can see it is fully that way and there's nothing in my appearance panel. And that's important because if you change the orientation, like let me show you. If I have these selected and it's just the typeface there, if I change the orientation of it, now it applies the effect in like a different way.
Oh, interesting.
Right?
So we need to lock it in.
We're gonna lock it in. I'm gonna change the circle or the oval to that color, and I'm gonna make this the hot pink because that's fun. And then I'm gonna do an offset path on this. So I'm gonna do object path, offset path, and I'm gonna put this at like 5 pixels. I'm gonna eyedropper as well here, and then just change this to my outline. I'm gonna do offset path again here, but I'm gonna do it in the positive. So that one was the negative to make it inside the shape. Now I'm gonna do positive to expand the shape. So I'm gonna do object path, offset path. I'm gonna go ahead and merge that. So it's one shape itself and it's still separate from that. And then I'm gonna make this bright blue, and then let's do this guy, the yellow. I think I might add a white outline. Okay, cute. This is fun. I'm gonna do a little flower as well. So an easy way to build a flower is I'm gonna use the repeat tool. So I'm gonna do object repeat, and then I'm gonna go to radial and look, a flower. I think I'm gonna do 5 petal, expand that, and then I'm gonna merge these again. And then let's do a little star maybe. And I'm gonna bring this down because I want it to be like a sparkle, not a star. Okay, expand that, just a regular old rectangle. And then maybe this one says like, let's just do like thanks. Okay, this is cute. I like this colorway, and I might do another object offset path on this one. I'm gonna use the scissor tool here under the eraser tool. I'm gonna cut this, delete this, and then I'm gonna turn this to an outline or stroke only, and then I'm gonna just bump this up to get a really fun like rainbow shape. I'm gonna keep that for a second, but I'm gonna expand this. I'm gonna come here and I'm gonna do type on a path, and I'm gonna say, you made my day. Type on a path. I always center my type on the path. I don't know if that's actually best practice, but if I don't do it, something doesn't feel right. So I always do it that way.
It's best practice for you.
Yeah, it's my practice, my daily practice. Okay, I think that's cute. Dare we add another outline?
Dare
Maybe we do. Path, offset path. So on the show, all I did was a lot of offset path. Okay, I'm gonna kind of just like center all these together. This is cute. I like this.
Oh my gosh, Emily, I love it.
Yay! Let me just actually make another 4x6 for us here. I'm gonna bring a few of these over. And this is gonna be like the back of the postcard, and I'm just gonna kind of like drop these around the edges. I'm gonna save this now as a PDF. And now we're gonna jump over to Express. I'm going to start from my content, and I'm gonna come to here, and I'm gonna choose Thank You Front. Look how cute. Okay, awesome. And now I'm gonna drop a little text box in here for us. So I'm gonna do text. So Express uploaded the PDF in a way that is still editable, which is really helpful because that way I can look at it here and say, you know what, actually, I think these are gonna not be in an easy workable space. So maybe we just bring all of them. Maybe I bring this one down here, and I'm gonna set this in the center and kind of put it here. And I think this would just be a really cute card that you can send to, you know, your local small business or someone that you work with, or if you are a client of somebody and you're like, hey, I really appreciate your photography work and I want to send this to you. And then I'm gonna go share, and I'm going to say anyone with the link, and then I'm gonna copy the link. And then actually, sorry, I'm gonna make this a template. Thank you. And we're just going to do create public link template. So this should take you then to that template so that you could just download it, and you can remix that template and send it to your favorite business.
Thank you all so much for joining. And Emily, congrats. Love the sticker pack.
Thanks. I had a lot of fun.
Thank
All
you.
right, bye. Hey everybody, welcome back. Jess, you're here. How are you doing this morning?
Great. Excited to be here, Emily. How about
Amazing.
you?
I'm doing great. Yeah, if you're just tuning in, my name is Emily Poulin. I'm a graphic designer, and I'm going to be doing some really fun, come closer.
I know,
Get
we're
on over
friends.
here.
We're friends. I got it.
This is my friend Jess Cabato, also designer, illustrator, muralist. What other names am I leaving out?
Hand letterer, graphic designer, all the things, everything.
That was that. Yeah, perfect. But I don't know if you've heard, Jess, that it is hot design summer for this next hour at least.
Oh,
yeah.
No, I didn't.
Okay, well, news to you, news to chat. I'm going to be making some fun branding and like a menu for like poolside drinks and maybe some fun merch to just get us in that like summer state of mind.
I'm already there.
If you're on board, okay, great. I have some ideas like in mind for what I want to call the pool resort luxury experience that we're gonna have. But chat, if you have any ideas of like what you would want this to be called, throw them in the chat and we can add that in because I'm still gonna be workshopping the name. So I'm gonna start off by choosing some colors on color.adobe.com, also known as Adobe Color, that are really fun, summery, spring vibes, or I guess, sorry, not spring, just fun, summery, bright vibes. And then we'll be picking some fonts, which are gonna be the typeface that we're gonna use for the branding for it, and then we'll get into designing the menu. Oh, my screen went to sleep. My screen's already done for the day. We're gonna get into designing the menu and then some merch. And I'm gonna kind of walk you through some of like old workflows that I used to do and now how those are a little bit faster and just improved through updates to Illustrator and just kind of in my own personal workflow. If that's cool with you.
Nice. I love it.
Awesome. Yeah, Hot Design Summer, Hags. Ryan, Selvey, and I, another great streamer and part of our Adobe Live team. We did a stream a couple weeks ago called Have a Great Summer, Hags.
Oh.
Were you ever writing Hags in your books?
No.
No?
Mm-mm,
You were
no.
never wishing anyone a great summer?
Not.
That's okay.
I didn't say hags, but
Everyone in chat,
It's something new.
Wish Jess a great summer, please, because she's never had that apparently.
oh my goodness.
Amazing. Okay, so here we are on color.adobe.com, and I'm going to do explore, and I'm going to type in bright summer colors, or I obviously don't need to say bright color. Bright summer, oranges, pinks, yellow, blue. And I'm just going to give it some direction here and see if it comes up with the colors that I'm looking for. These are very fun, so I'm going to add to my library. I don't know actually where I started my library, so let's see. It added to a different library. Perfect. Let me change the library to Hags, which if you didn't know that, if you have multiple libraries lined up, these are all like past streams I've done and other things. I have one for my dog apparently. Love that. You can change it right here. So I'm going to re-add that then to my library. Let me see if I can do that. I'm going to... how do I unadd this now? Okay. Well, I'm going to download it then, and I wonder if it'll... Huh. Yeah, I don't know. Okay, cool. Well, I like that one. Should have had my library selected in the first place, I guess. Okay, other options. Ooh, this is kind of fun. I like this one.
Yeah, that
okay,
one.
now I'm going to add
That
to
one's
library,
nice.
and it added to the correct library. Oh, you can't see. It's behind Jess right now, or behind Jess over there. It says added to Hags library, so that's great. Anything else like popping out to you? I kind of like this one too.
Yeah. Isn't that the same? No.
They're pretty similar.
They're similar. But yeah, no, I like that vibe.
Yeah.
Feeling
Oh wait,
it.
is it the same one? Just reversed? Dang.
No, I get it.
Color.adobe.com is playing me right now. Okay, I think that's what I want. I want like warm colors. I also want, since like poolside, I need a blue in there, so I think those are gonna work for me. How do you go about choosing color?
I get inspo from here, but also just general life.
I feel like part of my workflow, just general life, if you've lived it, you'll have inspo. I feel like choosing colors is something that can really take a lot of time. And so this is definitely some like jump starts it for me and kind of gets me moving in the right direction. So that's kind of why I start here. And I also choose a lot of options, as you can tell, because I like to have options. Who doesn't? Okay, so I feel pretty good about this. Those are added to my correct library. I'm going to jump over to Adobe Fonts now, and I'm going to look through and try and find, I want like a really fun retro script type vibe. I'm thinking for the name, right? I don't know what last word I was choosing here. So I'm going to do, a name I was thinking was Mirage. I feel like that could be like a cool like resort name, right? But chat, if you have any other ideas. Oh, great. The Creative Pool Club Creative Cloud. Okay, Resort RGB. Ryan, that's too much. That's so funny. Okay.
Snap to the pool.
Sand Sunburn, the marquee tool.
These are very creative.
Wait, the marquee tool is so funny.
I actually thought, Ryan, the first thing you said was hot dog summer, and I'm like,
Hot dog summer.
interesting. It's hot design summer, you said, so
Yeah.
that also works. But hot dog summer, I could see
It could work.
it could work. A lot of
All
hot
right,
dogs.
Andy says Hags for real. Thanks, Andy. We appreciate you. Are you gonna start incorporating that as part of your like summer vocabulary now?
Hags, yeah. All the time.
All the time.
All day.
I hope the next email I get from you says hags at the bottom. And if not,
every post I'm going to say to you is going to have hags.
But when we get into fall, it's going to have to be done. Or like have a great fall. I don't feel like it works as well. Okay. So in fonts.adobe.com or Adobe Fonts, there are some pre-selected versions here. Oh wait, there's a luxury one here. Some tags is the right word.
Fancy.
And I said I wanted a luxury pool experience. So I'm going to click the luxury tab and see what we have. What's cool is you can type in your sample text here, right? And so it's going to show you what that preview would look like, so you don't have to guess or like look at the alphabet and like mentally piece it together. Oh dang, they put hot dogs in chat.
Oh man, hot dogs for the win, man.
Every summer is hot dog summer. Ryan, that's real.
Cody also agrees with hot dog. He'll take hot dog summer.
I'll take a hot dog summer.
Look at that.
I'm gonna get hungry. Stop. Okay. Let me see. Anything feeling luxury to you?
Lux.
Yeah. Luxury.
I always think of like a serif as luxury.
Kind of like this one.
Yeah.
This is working for me. And there's 27.
Always love the
I like options. All
Yeah.
right. I also like these mock-ups. These are always so fun.
Oh, I haven't seen one that had mock-ups like that before.
Yeah. It's like a little demo of like, oh, wow. And this one has like web dings to it or whatever you want. Dingbats.
Web dings, dingbats.
All of them are here. Okay, I'm going to add the family. So Scotch Display, chat, remind me, is one of the ones that we want to use. Andy says Costco summer. That's more accurate to me. Okay, Scotch Display, winning. We love this one. That's kind of cool too. All right. If we do the marquee tool, it's going to have to be like, I need like a sub font for it.
Yeah.
And it doesn't work as well as like swim pool club vibe, but we'll figure it out. Okay. I'm liking that one. I'm going to go and choose, let me see. I'm going to look at a script font. These might be too fancy. I think maybe I don't want luxury at this point.
No.
Maybe I want like geometric script. I've stumped to.
Yeah.
Apparently I can't have that, so I'm not going to do that.
Dang,
I'll just do
look
script
at
and
you.
see. I know, yeah. You ever stump?
I never stumped
Adobe
anybody.
Fonts? Okay, this one's nice. You know what I'm probably gonna use, which is always a fail-safe, is the Chutzpah sisters have amazing typefaces, and they have a great script font that I feel like would just work perfectly.
Ooh, I'm excited.
So I think I could just search it in Chutzpah. Yeah.
There you go.
Here we go. Much love for the Chutzpah sisters. Okay. Beverly, you can never go wrong with Beverly. I already have it installed, so I don't need to do anything there. I also have Venice installed. So I might be using both of these for our typeface choices, right?
I feel good about that.
That's kind of fun. Okay, I'm going to type this in. Go back to Illustrator. Hello, Illustrator. Okay. I also have some secrets over here. We'll get into that. I know. We'll come back to that. What did you say?
A little sneak peek.
Oh, yeah, a little sneak peek. Okay, the marquee. Wait, how do we spell marquee?
Don't ask me. I think that looks right.
Wait, the marquee. Yeah, okay, cool.
That looks right.
I think that's French. That's not originally in English, I don't think. Okay, so we said Scotch Display. Scotch, which if I spelled it correctly, would have come up for me. Okay, I'm going to start here and just look through. Okay, that does feel luxury. Mm-hmm. Maybe this is our subtitle font. I don't know. We'll see. Marquee. Okay. And then I also liked Beverly. Like, you can't go wrong. Although this Quee is getting a little bit visually hard to read, I feel like, but it is kind of fun. And I think they have... Okay, so glyphs. Do you use glyphs? Are you a glyph girl?
Yeah, I like glyphs.
Yeah. Who doesn't like a glyph?
Yeah.
So if you don't know, some typefaces have alternate versions of the letter. So especially in a script font, you usually need the glyph because they are unique letter pairings. So this one may not have it. One that is a really good version of this would be Fairwater script. This one could not have more options. So like if I highlight this M, it's going to show me the options here. That's kind of the quick version of it.
Wow.
You can also go type, glyph, and it's going to open the full glyph panel. Talk about glyphs.
Yeah.
They came prepared.
I love that.
All sorts of things. Fairwater.
Yeah.
And it is Adobe font, so if you want Fairwater, it comes in a script and a sans. They're very cute, very wedding, I feel like, or just, cute vibes. If you want something like this, you can say, like, I like the M, but I want it to be a pointy M, and then you can click it, and it would change it out for you. Again, too, like, with a swash at the end here, so if you highlight this, you want to end your word, like, fancy. Okay, like, I could use this one, but obviously that wouldn't work in the middle of a word. So, some options here. I always love a font that has extra glyphs.
Always.
Yes. Does someone have Oh, it's other Jess. Jess Goldsmith has, I was going to say, someone has a newsletter or something called Glyph Me a Break.
Yes, that's her. That is her.
So funny. Genius.
Shout out to you, Jess.
I know, Jess. Is Jess in the chat? Where's Jess at?
Not yet.
Can we call Jess live real fast and just make sure that she joins the stream, actually? Okay.
Someone ping her, please.
Yeah, could someone just call her? The marquee. I love. Okay, I'm going to do a hard return here. I'm actually, you know what? I'm just going to make this its own separate text box. So I'm going to do marquee. I'm going to do effect, warp, and I'm going to do rise. I feel like this is, you know, the classic type treatment.
Actually, you and Matthew were using those tools. I don't actually use that too often.
Really?
Yeah.
Are you doing a lot of type? But you do a lot of
I do a lot of
hand
type, but
lettering,
I do a lot of I when I do this, I hand letter it. But for
How would I do that?
when I'm laying it out for graphic design, I guess I just don't use this as much.
That's totally fair.
Yeah, it's interesting, and I don't know why I don't use it. Or I write on the angle or some kind of kind of curvature tool.
You would be like drawing like a line, and
Yes.
then you'd be like, okay,
Yes.
I'm gonna do type tool.
Yes.
Not that one. This one. Type on a path.
Mm-hmm.
That's fair.
That is right.
Okay.
'Cause I always feel like I do more curves than angles.
I will say there is something for especially like warp type. Like if you arch it or arc it, sometimes it's not the result that I'm looking for, and I want to be a little more control. So I do feel you on that. Okay. So the marquee tool. This is gonna get tricky here. I feel like tool is gonna have to be like, I don't know, like an apostrophe or something. Maybe we'll just go by with marquee, and the ones who know, you know?
Yeah.
The marquee, and then I want to do like Lux Pool Club? No. Spa. You know?
Yeah.
But not in this typeface. That would be crazy.
I was like, that's a little much.
You were
but
like,
whatever. I was thinking, where are you going with this?
Okay, I liked
it's a
Venice.
surprise.
I thought Venice was cute, and Venice is also the Chutzpah font. And I'm just gonna make sure that I don't have a warp on this because I'm seeing a slight little warp there, and that's because I tend to just copy and retype versus making a new text box. So welcome to my own madness. That's how I roll in Adobe Illustrator. I mean, I see no issue. This is kind of fun.
Yeah. Oh, Allison says hello. I didn't see
Hi,
you.
Allison.
Hi. And then type in a path. Yeah. Try it out. It's good.
You should definitely try type on a path.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if I should like stack this.
And hi, Jeff Miller.
Jeff
Yes.
Miller. Jeff is always hanging out with us. Jeff, we appreciate you. We got a Jess and a Jeff. My brain couldn't handle it.
Yeah.
I almost feel like we should stack it, but but I need another word here. Lux or like resort. How many of the same word can I use? Luxury resort spa. Resort pool spa.
Yeah.
So again, I'm a graphic designer, sometimes copywriter, but as you can tell, I have a strength in one area, and it's more so design.
Sometimes you lean more towards one way than the other.
Okay, tell me not to put this in Beverly, though. I think it could be fun. Beverly, but not in caps, because that's crazy.
That is pretty crazy.
I'm not gonna lie, I don't like what I'm seeing. Because you also are an art director, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay.
I am.
And if I was your designer right now and you're trying to give me good feedback, you'd be like, what if we didn't do it that way?
We like constructive criticism.
Yeah.
Criticism, which I feel if anyone went to our school, you learn that well. But it's definitely a skill set you learn. It's a skill set that you need to learn over the years of how to address critiquing certain artwork. And yeah.
Super fair.
But sometimes they also want to give designers the freedom to do what they...
To make ugly things if they want to.
Yeah, if they want to. And sometimes ugly is cool. Like
that's true. Sometimes it's just not your taste, too.
Yeah.
And, like, I feel like that is really important feedback to have, which is, like, this... You have to run it through a lens of, like, does this actually work? Or do I need to speak up because this is, like, unreadable or, illegible or something like that? Or is it just not to my taste?
Yeah.
So I think that is an important... I'm going to outline this. So I'm going to do Command-Shift-O, and then I'm going to group these, and then I'm going to do Effect, Warp, and I'm going to do Rise again. Or should we do Fish? Hold on. Since people are new to the effects panel, watch out. There's a fish version, which you can't tell here. But here, let me make it stronger. Getting more fish-like by the moment.
Wow.
And then you can distort it even more.
What do you use the fish?
You know, I just was going to say that.
Has anyone used the fish?
We need an Adobe live stream that's just like the versions that you don't use of Warp Tool, which would be Fish for me.
Yes.
There's Fish Eye as well. You could do Fish Eye. And that kind of like, it's almost like Bulge.
Yeah.
There's another version that's like Bulge or Inflate. Or is Bulge not on this one?
Guess
Oh, there
who
is.
just joined the chat? Jess.
Jess, your ears must have been burning because we were
all
talking about you in a positive way. We needed your feedback, and we also shouted out Glyph Me a Break, and the Glyph panel, obviously. So, also, Jess, do you use fish mode in Warp Tool?
Yeah.
Because if you do, we'd like to know more. Okay, what I was actually doing, though, is I was doing Rise, and that is way too high now. And I'm going to set both of these back to 0 because I don't want any distortion there. Why is this looking so crazy?
Jess says, no one has ever used the fish warp.
You know what, Jess, for your show, Jeff, oh my God, Jess streams with us live on Tuesdays at 9 a.m. Pacific. Jess, I would challenge you. I think you need to use the fish tool.
I think that's it. I think it's a challenge.
Yeah,
Are you going to take
I think
it?
you have to, like, give it a shot at least. Okay, I don't like what it's doing to the circle, actually. I thought I would. So I'm going to turn it off and make sure it's gone because it's kind of giving a weird distort. And I'm also trying to make sure I'm, like, staying on time here. Okay. This is going to work for me. I'm going to turn this into a color, so I think it'll be fine. This is working for me. I'm happy with this.
Yeah.
Okay,
No,
cool.
I'm liking it. I'm liking it.
The marquee tool, Lux. Or maybe actually tool goes here. Hold on.
There we go.
I like the capital T. It's just so tall that it could be.
I mean, that's where you start manipulating it, you know?
I guess we're going to go manual. I guess I have freedom. Okay, I'm going to do Command-Shift-O to outline this, and then I'm going to also expand it. I don't know if there's a faster way to do it. That's the way I always do it.
That's the way I would do it,
Okay,
too.
perfect. Thank you for giving me that vote of confidence.
Yeah.
I'm also going to come over here to the Pathfinder tool, and I'm going to merge all these together so that way if I'm manipulating something, they're all going to work together because that's how I'm planning to use them. And I'm going to double-click in here inside this group. I'm going to use my direct select arrow keys, and I'm going to just pull this down and make it a little bit shorter. And I think... Or the other option I could just... No, I think that's what I want to do. Or I can just pull up the bottom too. So I'm just going to use my direct select arrow tool. And I'm going to visually do this. There's probably a more accurate way. I just kind of drag it up and keep an eye on it.
Yeah. Sometimes it's all about a visual versus like metric.
I was watching something. It probably was Adobe Live. Where they were talking about, you know, I think it was Jesus Ramirez. And he was saying, you know, it isn't always doing it right. It's like making sure it looks good.
Yeah.
And that's, I mean, that was a little bit more for photography retouching, but I think that applies to
No,
other
it applies
things.
to a lot of this too.
The Marquee Tool Resort Pool Spa. I like it.
Say it 5 times.
Yeah, that I can't do. I wish I could. Lux Resort Pool Spa.
Oh. Yes.
Or like maybe
sure.
it's like Pool Escape.
What?
No, never mind. Maybe that's in marketing. We'll write that in marketing. That was incredible feedback. I'm just going to say, what? You tell me where you're taking that. Okay, so I'm liking this. I think this is going to work for us. I'm going to expand this because we did some treatment to it. So Command-Shift-O to expand that, which means I can't type with it anymore. And then I'm going to do expand appearance as well. And what that's going to do is it's going to merge the appearance panel, mixed appearances here. It's going to merge them into it so it's no longer affected. So if I change it, scale it, it's not going to be affected. So how you do that, object, expand appearance, and now you can see it all come together. I'm going to merge these two. I don't know, with script typefaces, in my mind, they like need to be merged as a shape.
Yes.
I think it just makes it easier. And then I'm also going to check that this stroke was expanded, which it was not. So I'm expand, and then expand again, and now it's a shape and no longer a live, what's the word I'm looking
like
for?
an editable?
Yeah, like a live path where I could change the width.
Yes.
I also may just cut this out. So I'm going to do object path, offset path. And that's how big I wanted it. Okay, I'm going to do round.
You're going to do,
I'm gonna do
you're
like
going to
2
cut it out.
pixels. Yeah, that feels right. And then I'm going to highlight both of these and use this. That'll work. It's not the cleanest way of doing it. Hold on. That's because this is grouped. Ungroup. And I just want this outline shape here. And I'm going to take these two together. And I never know the right one. There you go.
I'm surprised you're not using the tool.
The tool.
This tool. That path. That's a Pathfinder tool. Or
Shapebuilder.
Shapebuilder, yeah.
Yes, you could also do Shapebuilder. This is my Illustrator. Welcome to How I Use It. Things are a little different here. Okay, now we have that little bit of line break, so we have a little bit more clarity. I could have done that for the T as well, but sometimes I feel like if you break the shape too much, you start to lose the shape overall, so I'm happy with just one breaking there. Okay, so I'm going to make a drink menu for us here. I put together some ingredients from little mocktails that are like very tropical, poolside, refreshing. But I did really boring names like pineapple coconut drink and watermelon drink and blackberry citrus drink. So chat, if you want to jump in with some really fun poolside drinks, these could either just be like resort luxury, pool experience, or if you want to do like tropical theme, I'm open to it. But give us some names for what you would be ordering as you're getting a refreshing drink poolside. How's that feel?
Ooh,
good?
Oh man, I'm gonna need one today. Although it's a little cold here for.
It is a little
drink,
cold,
so
yeah.
That's fine.
You're an East Coaster though, so I feel like you're probably cold still.
I am. No, actually today it's gonna be 90. I don't know, Jess.
90?
Isn't it 90 today? Yes.
Ryan's
it
on
is.
the East Coast. Ryan, what's the weather over there?
It's a forecast, guys.
The
Give
way
us
I
a
typed
forecast.
90 inches. Perfect. The world's largest menu coming to you live.
Allison asked about the colors, and I think you may have missed the beginning of this. So.
Yes. So I downloaded a color because I linked it to the wrong library, but I also added some colors to my libraries. So I'm going to make sure that I'm in the right library once my library loads. It's going to take a second.
I actually didn't know. Yes, okay.
What?
I didn't know that you could connect the colors to
Yes.
your CC library.
Which is great. Although only one
This
theme
is so new.
came in.
Hags, go to.
I wasn't. Color themes. Oh, there they all are. It was just taking a minute to load. Also, this is from our Have a Great Summer stream, so enjoy this pigeon. The pigeon's going to come back for every stream.
Oh.
I was showing how to edit in Photoshop, so look, and then I took it out. Okay, so I think I like this one. I'm going to use this theme. I think this was great. And then
You picked it 2 times, so yeah.
Yeah, I picked it in reverse order, though, which meant I really liked it. I said I need to have that one.
It's a sign.
Okay, and then I'm going to add it. I think I can add it. Why? Hello. Can I drag you to my swatch panel? No, that's fine. Okay, I'm going to do one that I downloaded then. So I'm going to do other library. And then I downloaded this one, and so I should open it. Okay, perfect. Oh, I downloaded the wrong version. Why can I not use my library thing? Okay, that's fine. I'm gonna do this. I'm just gonna drag a shape out, and then I'm gonna click on my library, and I'm just gonna do it this way. So the easiest way to get it, I guess, would be, I don't know why I didn't want to add to my swatch panels. There's probably a shortcut. I think is Jack or Cody might know. I feel like they're both moderating for us. Tell me where I went wrong. I know it's here, it's close by, but I'm not getting it right. Okay, I'm gonna bring it out this way. Another way that you can do it is if you come to color.adobe.com, you can download the ASE. I don't know what that stands for, but so say I download this, then you can come into Illustrator, then you can come into your swatches, and you do other library, and then from your downloads, you would just choose it, and it will load it in for you right there. So that's a fast workaround too, but it was a little stuck in my library, so I don't know what's going on there. But that's fine. Okay, so we have, wait, that one's really cute too. Shoot. Which one do we use now?
This one's good. You picked this twice. Let's stick with it.
She said, let's stop making decisions. Can you just do this? Okay, I'm going to drag out a rectangle here just to fill my background. And then chat, do we have any... W Pigeon. Thank you. Thank you, Andy. Do we have any recommendations for drink names? We're just talking about weather.
Drink names. Let's see.
Emily's tropical eggnog. That's crazy. Ooh, country time lemonade.
Pineapple Paradise.
Okay, Orange Crush.
Okay,
I accept that. So we can do Orange Crush for this one, maybe like orange. Is that a drink? I feel like, are we going to get copyrighted here?
That is a drink, right?
Yeah, I feel like it is. Or maybe just Crush. Maybe it's on its own. Pineapple Paradise. I can't spell. I'm reading and typing. Pineapple Paradise. I love it. Okay, I'm going to follow. What did Jack say? She said... At the very bottom of libraries, you can
click the icon and add the selected theme to your swatches. Oh, let me move up.
You're good. Add Studio Manager, could we flip to the other side before Jess disappears from the stream? I guess add all. Let's see if that does it. Oh, I think it's because I have the pigeons in here. Oh, I have something selected. That's why. Hold on. Let me unselect. Here we are, chat, learning together.
I love learning new things.
Yeah, fill color.
I didn't even know you could do this, so this is great.
Huh. I'm not sure what I'm doing wrong here. There's something going on here.
Or click right and add to swatches.
Ah, thank you.
There we go.
I got lost, but now I found it. All right, it's there somewhere. I typically do the workaround way, and I just need to spend the time to figure out the right workflow. So I do apologize, chat. That's on me. Okay, but you know what? We're still moving on. I'm not worried about it. So I'm gonna make some stripes here, which I think will be fun. I feel like that's very like poolside cabana vibe. And then I'm gonna do just like a tint of this. So I'm gonna come into my color guide, and I'm just gonna grab like a little bit lighter version. I think that's fun. Okay, and then Matt just showed me this. I use a different way to do blend modes, but I guess there's a shortcut here now where you can click blend mode, and then you click each shape, and then it's gonna blend together. And then I think
You should double click on that.
on this.
On the, yeah.
Yeah,
and
specified steps. That's so much faster.
Yes, it's great. Love it.
Is that how you've always been doing it?
Yeah. Well, I mean,
Since the update for it?
since the update.
Yeah,
Because
fair
it's so
enough.
amazing.
Yeah, so that's the faster way. Let me show you the old way. So the older way would be highlighting both, which still works, by the way. So if you keep doing this, you keep doing it. So you select both shapes, you go object, blend, make, and then it's going to be that, and then you have to go back and go object, blend options, and then you would get the same panel, right? Specified steps. So let's do the 3 again. It looks great. So the faster way that we just learned here, we're going to click both. We're going to click here on the panel, blend, and then click both shapes again. And then let's do that, and then we're going to double click on the panel, and then we're going to do specified steps, 3. And now we have a very great tropical
I
vibe.
love it.
So fun.
So
And what's cool
fun.
about this too is that, right, you can move it, and it is a live pattern, basically. So a little fun
Ooh.
trick there.
We got some new people in the chat here.
Izzy's in the chat. Hey, Izzy.
Hello. And Isabel. Look at that.
Yes, Izzy always streams with us. She's wonderful. Okay.
I love the support, guys.
I know, right?
I'm really feeling it.
Actually,
right
I'm
here.
going to do this. This is your second Adobe Live, right?
Yes, it is.
Yes, or
I'm
in-studio version.
In-studio, yes.
Which is super awesome. I'm glad we got to have you back.
I know. I'm very excited and very happy we could make this happen.
And you're streaming next.
I am streaming
What are you
next.
going to be streaming next as I land this over here?
I am doing kind of like my typical lettering and illustration, and then I'm going to mock that up onto a wall. So I'm doing both Illustrator and Photoshop, and just like my process on how I do murals. So,
I'm so excited.
we'll see how this goes. I'm here to enjoy it with you guys, and
I hope you don't get lost in the swatch panel like I did.
I-
It was a dangerous place, guys. I was a little scared.
I will probably get lost in something else. I am trying a few new things to play with.
Yeah, what are you trying?
I am doing a few things in Photoshop.
Okay.
Some new features that came out.
Nice.
Which I'm still learning about.
Fair
I mean,
enough.
and then even some new features in Illustrator. I think even Matthew was looking at the tracing tool, and I was like,
Yeah.
this is
It's way faster now.
insane.
It's crazy.
So anybody try that new tracing tool. I just need to
Stop
play
what you're
around with it.
doing
Yeah,
and try
stop.
it now.
Do it.
Do it.
I don't even know the cool things you can do with it, but someone really needs to focus on just that.
I would say that's one of the cooler things about being on Adobe Live is you get the chance to sit and see like
Yeah.
how someone's using that and learn.
Yeah.
You know, which I feel like as a busy designer or, photographer, you don't have time often you just like sit and absorb that. So it is
Yeah.
really a great place to do that.
Yeah.
Okay, I was using Beverly. Okay, we didn't get a name for the cucumber mint drink,
Oh.
so we'll just do like cucumber mint.
Very creative.
Cooler. No, I don't know. That's
Cucumber cool. I like the cooler.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
know. It just sounds like it's not a mocktail anymore, and I want to make sure that we're very clear that
okay.
it's not. Cucumber refresher. It's very Starbucksy. Okay, cucumber mint. We're just dropping all of the brand names right now. Okay, and then we have pineapple paradise. Love.
Getting really thirsty, guys.
I know. You don't even have a drink. Oh no. Or
I
you?
do.
Okay, good.
Over here,
Is it pineapple paradise by chance? Just
no,
wondering.
it's not. But I
Asking
did
for a
add a
friend.
hydration packet to it, so it makes it a
Ooh.
little,
What are we?
gives a little something.
What are you hydrating? What
Although,
flavor?
what's really funny is that I
What?
did a hydration packet, and it's tropical mocktail flavors.
It's like you
it's
knew.
a literal sign.
It's
wow.
like you knew what we're doing.
I am just thinking about it. It just blows my mind right now. Guy,
She's a genius. She's an
I didn't even know we were
art
doing this, so.
director. I kept it a mystery. I said, host me.
It was.
You'll never know.
I'm like, what am I going to talk about? So here we go. We're making merch,
Yeah, we are going to do merch. Currently, we're doing the menu.
and we're doing the menu.
And then we're going to have merch. Okay, I need to do...
I'm feeling very Palm Springs.
That's the vibe, right?
Yes,
That good.
yes.
I'm glad that the vibe is coming through.
I do, and I really want to pool float.
I would like to be just floating in a pool right now.
Yeah.
It's summertime.
Yes.
Or is it like
Not
one of
here,
those
though.
things where it's not officially summer?
Yeah.
You know how like summer is actually starting in like, I don't know, August or something crazy? Chat, when's the first day of summer? Are we officially in summer yet?
June 20th.
Oh, so yeah, we're not. We're in spring
Sorry,
still.
I did know that.
I'm glad you know that.
Summer solstice should be around June 21st.
Sorry, chat.
Right?
We don't need you today. Jess
I've
already
got it
knew.
in my head.
Yeah, she has a calendar. She's about it.
Because it's the longest day of the year. And then I literally sometimes count down how then it's getting to winter after that day.
Do you like winter or are you sad?
I'm sad.
Oh, that's fair.
I know. So I get really upset. But I'm trying to enjoy winter now more.
Sure. I mean, I feel like, especially on the East Coast, you guys are in winter for so long. I'm a West Coast girly, so I just can't even imagine when people are like, it's snowing, we can't leave our house. I'm like, are you okay? That sounds terrible. But I also live where it's really warm, so, you know. Okay, this is looking fun. So I'm going to do...
Loving it.
Yeah, right? Menu. Or let's do, like, drink menu. How's Chad doing? I'm seeing, like, things out of the corner of my eye.
Popping. Okay, so Jeff... Oh, June 20th was right.
Thank you.
Yeah, 9 days before your birthday. Happy early birthday on June 20th.
Carol says starts in April here in Florida. That's real, Carol.
Oh, man.
Carol, I didn't know you were in Florida. So you're East Coast, but Southeast Coast, I guess.
Oh, although winter did say cool cucumber as an option.
Oh, I do
instead
like that.
of cucumber cooler.
You know, chat, I appreciate you.
Yeah,
So let's do that.
We're going to use this.
Cool cucumber.
You guys are our brains.
Yeah.
Right now.
Mine's still in the swatch panel, so yeah, I need the help. What was the other typeface I was using? I was using Venice, which is a fun California
Venice, yeah.
name. Okay, I'm going to do, I want it to be arched, but I want it to be arched to this exact arch. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do, is this going to look crazy?
Ooh.
It might. I'm going to do object, or I'm going to do Command C, Command F to to paste in front.
Yeah.
Actually, I guess I don't need to do that. Hold on. I'm going to take my shape. I'm going to do object path, offset path. It makes this shape for you. And then I'm going to do negative offset path, which I know is controversial. A lot of people don't use it that way. No, because it makes another path. So, like if I drag this over, there is that there.
Got it.
Okay, and then I'm going to do type on a path, and then I'm going to write, there you go. I don't know what it said. Okay, drink menu. It said mask, but this is not a mask. Okay, and then I'm going to
move that little handle over.
Yeah, I know. Gotta get my handle. Come here. Okay, I'm actually gonna do summer.
I like that.
So that way it's like a seasonal menu.
Yes.
I'm gonna bring this up. It's fun. It's cute.
I'm digging it.
Yeah, right? Vibes are vibing. Okay, this feels too light. I feel like with menus, sometimes the type gets ridiculously tiny.
Yes.
And you're like, who's reading this?
And
Not
go
me.
like this. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay,
I
I'm
feel
gonna bring these together. But then at the same time, if it's too big, then, you know, it doesn't feel as luxury. So I feel like this is getting cute.
There's a good medium.
Yeah.
Right?
Which is important.
That's what we have to find. That's our job.
That is what designers are here for.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just kind of visually spacing these. Probably the correct way to be laying out a menu would be in InDesign, which would have better spacing capabilities for you, but I'm happy with how this is going. Cool. Okay, I have to try one thing. I know I have this in all caps, so I'm going to do summer. And then I just have to see how it would look in Beverly. Arching a script is kind of not the best, but yeah, no, it's not gonna work. It has to be all caps. I like it like this. I think this is good.
Yeah.
Cool. And
we tried it.
Yeah. You have to do proof of concept. You have to know. Otherwise, you know, we would never be exploring new things.
Right.
Okay, so I'm gonna kind of center this on this little cutout area I have. Am I good?
I'm just looking.
Are we gonna touch right now?
I think I need a little more spacing on summer.
On where? On summer?
Summer and drink, yeah.
Like up?
A little up, yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Miss Art Director. I appreciate you. Okay, I'm gonna take our logo and bring it up here. I'm gonna make this smaller.
I'm so excited.
Or, you know what? I think it goes at the footer. I think I kind of want this to be the hero. Hello, background. Kind of like this. You see what I'm saying? Or do you like it at the top better?
I'm feeling it.
Honestly, we probably could get rid of this this subtext right now and just keep it classic. What if I grouped my logo? That would be probably really helpful.
Yeah, that one.
It's a personal preference, but
Do you group all of them together, or you do like tools one and then the marquee is another one and then all of them all together? I always have that issue.
Because it's expanded right now and they're all individual, and I'm just treating it as one color, I'm okay to group it all together. Because if I was gonna change the color to white, I would want them all in white. So
got it. Okay.
That's me right now. But if I was doing tool as a separate thing, I probably would have that group separate.
Got it. Okay.
Okay. This is cute. Maybe this is the dark blue. Maybe this is all dark blue.
Way to use the color palette. Yeah.
Yeah, color palette. Forgot I even had her. Gotta bring her back. Okay, this is fun. I also want to do some fun little stickers. So I have some illustrations that I prepped beforehand. So I was deciding if I should do, these are my fail-safe names in case chat didn't contribute, but chat, you came to the table today. So I'm gonna do maybe just some fun little vibey, I like this little pool float and this little starfish. So I'm gonna drag these over. I'm gonna
You have to have a pool float. I'm really liking that.
Yeah, we have to have a pool float. That's like the vibe. I could do it just on there, but I kind of want to do little stickers. So I'm going to do star tool.
Okay.
Follow the process here. Okay, and then I'm going to go, I don't know why I dragged out like that. I'm going to add up, hold on. Let me get this in a clean space so we can actually see what we're doing here. I'm going to drag out star tool, and then I'm going to drag up the number of points, and I'm going to bring out the radius, I guess, from the middle. It's all these math terms I'm using. Radius. And then I'm going to drag in, it's a little too bubbly, and just kind of make it this little flower shape. I think maybe I need, that feels more like a sticker. I feel like here feels like a flower. Oh, that's actually cute.
Oh.
Okay, hold on. That one gets to stay. Another one. I feel like at some point it feels like a flower, and then some point it feels like a sticker again. So I feel like these feel good to me.
I'm liking it.
I'm trying to match you, sorry.
Sorry. I do that. That's like my thinking head.
Yeah. You're processing. It makes
Yes.
sense. Okay, I like these. And then I'm going to expand these as well so they're no longer editable. Oh, hello?
Oh, we got a hi there. Hi over turf design.
Hey, what's up, Steven? How are you?
Welcome, welcome.
Steven is an amazing designer and illustrator as well. Why will this not expand? Okay, it's going to stay in editable
Oh, Jess
shape.
lives and breathes for that star tool. I know you do, girl.
That I did in your honor, Jess.
I will also be using the star tool.
Really?
Yeah.
What are you doing with it?
Oh, I can't tell you.
Oh my
You have
gosh,
to see.
why? Get the people interested. They have to know.
Well, then you have to wait and see.
Okay,
right?
well, stick around because I'm going to wrap this up, believe it or not, in the next like 10 minutes or 15 minutes.
You're
And
doing great.
Jess is going to come on and show us how she gets started with murals and lettering design, which is really exciting. So stick around. Okay. I'm going to do some more type on a path.
Type on a path, guys. Here we
Hot
go.
design summer. That was giant. Okay,
Yeah, it's
what if it
huge.
was like 20 points? What if it was 15 points? Okay, perfect.
Really miss that hot dog summer, though.
Oh, you're so right. Wait, okay, hold on.
I mean, it's not Lux if you say that, so it's kind of defeating the whole.
Wait. Oh, wait, hold on. Complimentary hot dog available on request.
Oh my goodness, love it.
The people need it, and then we're gonna
Yes.
do this in Beverly because it's fancy. Like, people are gonna think it says like gratuities included, but it's gonna say complimentary hot dog available on request.
I mean, love it. I think they should do something like that.
I'm just saying, I'm ready to go into business. If anyone is liking what I'm putting out here,
I'm like,
send me an email. Find me. Okay, I'm gonna do type on a path, and I'm gonna make this option a little more central. And if you're just joining and thinking, what does a hot dog have to do with anything? Jess will give you a brief recap here. Jess, what are we working on?
We are creating a menu and some merch stickers. Well, by we I mean Emily.
You're participating.
I am participating.
Yeah.
I'm adding. I don't know what I'm adding, but yeah. So we have that here, and then we asked the audience for some interesting names for the actual
Luxury pool spa.
Yes, luxury. Oh my goodness.
No, it's hard.
Yeah, I can't even say it, guys. Anyway, so some of the options were hot design summer, along with, I don't even remember. I'd have to go up on the chat to see what other names were there, and then I just couldn't see it. So then I thought they said hot dog summer. Anyway, it's a long story. Not that funny when I recap it.
I thought it was really funny.
However, whoever loves hot dogs really, yeah.
Andy in the chat says Mosby wants to know if there's a limit to the complimentary hot dogs. Hi, Andy. Love you. Andy's my husband, and Mosby is our dog. So, no Mosby. Well, actually, for Mosby, yes, because I don't want to clean it up if he gets sick from it. So,
Yeah,
maybe
that's
a
not
limit
fun.
on that. Okay, look how fun.
That is cute. I'm loving it.
Okay, I'm gonna do.
This is great.
It's fun, right?
I'm
It needed the
great.
extra. Have
Yeah.
you seen the vision? Okay.
I love the color. The color really does pop. and
Right.
It really gives some dimensionality.
And let me
to
tell
it.
you, if I was fine tuning these on my own, it would take me a lot longer. So using color.adobe.com really
I'm going to use that.
You really should. It's great. And you can type in a bunch of vibes. There's also like another tab that's like trending. Like there's a lot of options in here. Or you can do photos and like reference that. Create, explore, trends, and then all sorts of different things. I actually don't know.
Maybe I'll try that for the next one, but...
Yeah, try it out.
But I'm using something else. However, this is pretty
Fair
cool.
enough, but it is
cool.
kind of nice. It keeps it in the Adobe ecosphere, which makes it a lot easier, I feel like, as you're working.
Yes.
And just kind of streamlines your process. So I like the circle text that I'm using, so I'm just going to bring it up here. What's something else fun? Like,
Ooh, that's nice.
yeah, right? Like, cool drinks by the pool. Or let's do cool by the pool. So, like,
Ooh,
rhymes.
Cool by the pool.
It's fun.
I love a good rhyme.
I love a rhyme.
Love a good rhyme.
I don't know if that makes me millennial or cool, but probably just millennial.
No, whatever. Rhymes are timeless.
So true.
Says me.
We're like, as the millennials in the chat, we said, no, it's fine. It's great, actually. Okay, this is looking cute. They do need to look like that together. So I'm going to add another little swash in here. I'm going to use my brush tool. And I'm going to use the flat, 5-point flat. Oh, hold on, I have something selected. Command Z. Okay, so I'm going to just draw like a little squiggle.
I'm so bad at using the brush tool, but this is great.
I love brush tool.
And I think I also need a specific session on just the brush tool.
Yeah. There is a lot to it, and seeing different ways that people use it. Like Matt was using it. If you didn't catch our first stream for the day, Matt was using the brush tool in its own way and showing how he uses it in his process. And he was making some really cool like pirate travel destination posters, which are epic. And he's going to be finishing at the end of the day if you haven't seen that.
I'm very excited to see that.
Yeah. And if you need to like step away for any time and you can't finish the rest of the stream, you can always find us on YouTube, on our YouTube channel for all the replays. So definitely check it out. There's this stream and lots of old past streams as well. We have quite the library. So
you do. You guys do a good job.
Adobe Live has been at it for a while, you know?
Yeah.
Putting in the hours. Okay. I'm spending way too much time on this considering I have about 5 minutes left. Okay, I just want some like fun water vibes.
Yeah.
Okay. And I'm gonna use smooth tool. Are you a smooth tool person?
I have just started to use that. Kind of.
Oh, you were manually doing it before?
Yes. I am I mean I just use the pen tool and all that and
she's good.
I mean
Okay, these are cute. I like these little squiggly
I need to
guys.
learn all these new things. Sometimes it's hard, but you know,
Sometimes
seeing people use it makes me want to do it.
Right,
so.
and that's a big part of Adobe Live. I feel like watching other people's workflow really inspires you and helps you learn how to do things faster, more efficiently, better. And that's what we're here for, community and helping each other.
Very true. I was watching Matthew before, and I'm like, oh, it's so interesting seeing other people design on these different applications. And I'm like, wow, I did not think to do it that way.
So I love it. I think it's one of the coolest things that you can do is be a part of someone else's creative process. Okay, I want 2 stickers that overlap, so maybe it's going to go down here. And Hot Design Summer is coming down more. And then I want to layer it, so I'm going to use my bracket tools and just kind of layer it that way. I'm okay if it comes off. I'm going to try it. So I was also telling Matt that I do trim view a lot and just kind of look at it that way. I mean,
is there a shortcut for that? Trim view?
Probably. If not, we need one. No, there's not. You could probably assign one, though, if you wanted to. But I just kind of manually do it like that. I'm not mad about it. You know what I might do is I might just change the spacing on these a little bit. And then... I have Pineapple Paradise twice. Guys, was no one going to tell me?
I didn't realize that either.
I'll do Mosby's mocktail. If I'm not talking about my dog, I didn't stream. So that one's for you. It's getting hot where we live, and so he's wearing his little booties now. And we had to put him on the other day, and he just stands there like he's like, I'm not going to go anywhere.
That's so cute.
But we tempted him with a carrot, and then he came about. Okay, I think like this little... Maybe the pool floaty goes here. What should the pool floaty say? Oops. Can I disable the white? Maybe just like chill.
Chill.
Chill time. Is that like a cringy chill mode activated? like
pool vibes or water time?
Chill.
Oh, you just heard my Philly accent. Water. I just said water,
yeah,
guys. Sorry. You're like, what did you just say?
Were we speaking the same language here? Chill time. I'm gonna make it so cringe. Ready for this? Me time.
Oh, wow. Oh, man.
Okay, fine. We'll just do chill time twice.
Yeah.
We'll do chill time, and then I'm gonna duplicate this and rotate it this way, and bring it on the inside. So now we'll do chill time twice. And then I'm just going to align these, but to each other, which looks crazy.
It's crazy here.
It's getting crazy. It's not chill yet. All right, maybe like 150. Okay, cool. That's working. And then I'm going to use my bracket tools and hit Command and put that behind this other sticker, so it kind of gives this fun layered effect. And then sometimes I feel like it needs the divider.
Yes.
You know, it just makes your brain feel a little less crazy.
When there's a when it's like double like that, I always want to put some kind of element. Jeff asked, quick question, where to take the final version for master printing?
Ooh, good question. You can use a lot of print ones. If you were designing Adobe Express, so we do have direct print partners, which is really cool.
I didn't know that.
If not, I would say check out your local printer. I would support a local small business and get these printed. I did this 5x11, which means you could do 2 up, meaning you would print it on 1 sheet of paper, cut down the middle, and you have 2. But it kind of depends on your design needs. So, okay, we have about 10 minutes left. Feeling good about this.
Feeling great.
Since we have time, I'm gonna change this. I just wanted it was too close to the edge. So something that's kind of interesting is if you, I'm gonna go through this again. So if you have the shape and you've already rounded the corners, you can't like scale down the shape. So I found that if you scale it back out, okay, cool. If you scale it back out, then you can bring down the size of the shape.
I did not know that.
Because otherwise you like delete it, right?
Yes,
and redo it.
Yes.
It's a recent discovery for me, but there you go, team.
I learned something new. I think that was an
so
issue
excited about it.
that I had about this tool.
Yep. It's a little workaround. I have a hard time if things are too close to the edge. I just feel like everything doesn't feel right. So I just want to make sure that wasn't too close to the edge. And I'm going to bring this down a little bit. And I'm going to zoom out, see how we're looking. Great. And then I think the whole design can definitely come up. So I'm going to highlight all of this. I'm going to unselect my background and kind of just drag everything up.
Oh, great.
And then I think just the copy needs to come down, be centered on that. And then I'll bring chill by the pool vibe sticker. The way I didn't group anything is not okay.
You're working quickly here, so I get it. I'll give you some slack.
Yeah, I mean, we've chosen colors and fonts, and we named
did a
drinks.
lot at once.
Like, this business is launching.
Oh, we have a newbie from, not newbie, a new person that came on, Kane from Behance.
From Behance. Very cool. Thanks for joining.
Thank you for joining.
You are not late to the party. We are live from 9 to 1 p.m. here in the studio, and then we also have another remote stream after that. So you're not late. You're jumping in.
So please stay on to watch me. And then we have Matthew is going to finish his design poster series. And then we have a remote one with 5 ways to express yourself in any language.
Oh, very cool.
That's very interesting.
Okay, well, while we were away and reading that sign, I brought in a mock-up that I would like to use. But
that was so quick.
I know, right? I brought this in, and now I'm like seeing the colors. I'm like, you know what? It's not quite right, right?
Yeah.
So another shortcut or another faster feature here is if I click right here, there's a button that says Edit in Photoshop. And this is going to populate over to Photoshop like that, which is really exciting, right?
Yeah.
Now I'm going to bring it through an adjustment panel, which I'm going to do hue saturation. And I'm just going to drag this around to kind of visually match the blue that I have. So I'm going to change this a little bit. I'm going to bring up the brightness. Hello. Great. And I think here... Or maybe do I want to do the pink? Maybe let's do a pink one. I think that could be fun. I'm getting some interesting masking on the lid here, but I think that's okay.
It's fine.
It's a mock-up.
It's fine, yeah.
Art director says it's fine. So I think it's fine then.
Sometimes they have pink tinted lids.
Yeah. You know what I might do is I might just bring this over. So I'm just going to Command C. I'm going to come over here, Command V. Just insert it as a pixel just so I have a reference. Okay, so I want to go a little bit brighter maybe. So I'm going to double click here on my mask again, and I'm going to bring this up, the saturation, which is kind of the intensity of the color. There's still going to be some shadowing and all of that, but that works for me. I'm going to export this as a JPEG, and I'm just going to save it to my desktop because that's nice and easy. Perfect. I'm going to jump back into Illustrator, and I'm going to bring that back in. So, whoop. So now we have the updated one, which was a little bit faster workflow. And what you'd have to do in the past, so like if I wanted to mock this up in as like a brand, piece or whatever. So I'm gonna make this into white here. I'll drag it off so you guys can see it. So if I was gonna originally do a mock-up, I would like Command C this, I come back to Photoshop, I hit Command V, I place it, then I would like, move it over, I would come, edit, I was like, what panel am I in? Transform, warp, and this is still a really great workflow, right? You can do warp, and then cylinder is a new version. So now I'm gonna like bring this around. Hello. Can I grab the sides? Thank you. And you could do it this way, you know, and kind of drag things around. You know, this is working.
Yeah.
But, you know, like that, right? That would be like one way of kind of doing it. And I probably would have to do it up a little bit more so it kind of is aligned. So that'd be one way of doing it. And, you know, not the easiest workflow. What's great is you can do mockups in Illustrator now. So I'm going to group these, and I'm going to bring my logo. Always copy it. Just always have copy. And I'm going to click both of these, and I'm going to use Create Mockup. So right here in my contextual taskbar, I'm going to click that with both of my pieces highlighted, and it's going to analyze the image for me now, and it's going to place my artwork on the image in Illustrator without having to leave the program, which is so much faster.
It's amazing.
It really is.
It really it's. I actually always forget about this tool.
It's a newer feature for sure, but it has improved workflow so much. So it's analyzing, and like now it's already on here. I can scale it down. I can make it a little bit smaller. Let me bring this together. And honestly, like the results, I could do it from the side. The results are so much more responsive and faster, and I think just look great.
I think just for a quick mock-up too, using this is great. You don't have to go into Photoshop and like do all, because that's where I usually do a lot of my mock-ups.
That's how I was definitely too. So this new feature, which I also think is funny, is they do these previews and they actually use your artwork in the previews. It used to be stock before, and then the other day I looked at it and I was like, wait, they're using my... So if you wanted other ones to other mock-ups, you can select from here and search on Adobe Stock, and it will populate those for you here, which is kind of cool. So if you want to see, you know, on a tote bag, okay, like cool, let's place it on the canvas.
That's awesome.
And it already did it for me, which is cool.
No, that's great.
Right.
I didn't even realize they had that on the side.
Yeah, it's really fun. And the fact that it is your artwork now is really, really cool. So yeah, we're getting some hands up in chat. Thank you. Oh yeah, is anyone going to the Create Now in San Diego? I heard there is an Adobe Create Now tonight. So chat, if you're there, it sounds like Kane's gonna be there. So you should definitely go.
Should be great, guys.
Okay, cool. All right, we're in the last final 3 minutes here. Is there anything that I need to do? I feel like the menu's looking good. We have our merch mocked up, which is cool. We also have our tote bag. You know what might be fun? Okay, for our tote bag, what I might do, me in the last 5 minutes deciding to go crazy. I'm like, what?
That's always the case.
Yeah. Woo. My artboard went away from me. Okay, I'm gonna grab these stickers and, oh, I only grabbed part of that sticker. All the sticker, please. Do you work in grouping your like items a lot, or do you kind of just...
I group them.
You group?
For sure.
All the time?
I try to.
It's good.
But, you know, sometimes I forget.
And then you're like,
and then all of a sudden I have to individually click each letter, and I'm like, why did I do this to myself?
Who decided this layout? Oh, it was me. Okay, I'm gonna highlight this. Okay, I think I can keep these all live.
I'm loving it.
Let's see what happens. So I'm gonna Command G, group these. I know, I'm a little nervous, but let's try it. I'm gonna click both. Oh, you know what? Yeah, I think because it's live text. So let me expand it. Command Shift O, and then do object expand as well. Although I think I just had text, so it should be good. Okay. Okay. So what we learned here is that it does need to be outlined and just pure vector, no live text. But now I can click this. I can click my mockup, and I'm gonna do create mockup again, and bring this artwork on over. You're hearing my stomach growl. I'm sorry.
Mine was earlier too. I didn't know if you heard that. Glad you guys can't hear our stomach growling. Maybe I shouldn't have said that out loud, but it's
okay. The secrets, they'll never know.
You get to eat after this, though.
I do. Okay, and I'm gonna rotate this. I just love that I can do this in Illustrator with my vectors, and I don't have to jump out and create them into pixels. Like, it's still vector form. I can still edit it if I want to, and it just really is responsive. Look how cute this toe is.
I would get it.
I'm upset this doesn't exist.
I know. Maybe we should make that happen.
All right, yeah. Jeff is already printing the menu, so we're going to print this, and it's going to be great. Okay, let me give you a quick recap. So in this one, we designed some fun branding for sorry, I got distracted by the colors. In the stream, we started looking at luxury branding for a pool. We started on Adobe Color, selected our fonts. We went onto fonts.adobe.com, got our fonts selected. Then we named the font together. We created this really fun summer drink menu. We used some shortcuts. We used some grouping. We used the star tool, all of our favorite objects.
Yes.
Then we worked and made some mockups in Illustrator, and then we also made this really fun tote bag. So if you haven't watched the whole stream, go for the replay on YouTube, and then stick around because up next, Jess is going to be on creating some murals and showing us her whole process. So stick around. We have a lot coming up, but thanks so much for joining.
Thank you guys. Thanks, Emily.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Today I'll be designing a playful social carousel with products. So here are some graphics that are part of this bag that I did, which I can show you. I'm going to show you one of my favorite things in Photoshop. So this is the symmetry tool, and I love to use it. Let's get a bright color here just to do that. I'm moving over here to my iPad where I will start sketching. I like to use the smoothing tool because it helps my hand be less shaky. I'm gonna paste it in Illustrator. Let's go ahead and start with 3 artboards. Let's get rid of that bleed. And then I'm gonna go down here and I'm gonna make these 0. Select all, copy, Command A, Command C, and then Command V. I'm actually gonna bring that image into here. I'm gonna bring down the opacity. I'm gonna use the pencil tool. I'm gonna see how this looks. Give it a stroke. I'm also gonna draw one down here and then try to connect them. So I'm selecting these 2 points and I'm hitting Command J and it connects them. And I'm gonna come in here and I'm actually gonna get rid of this one that I had. So let's reflect this and you can see that these aren't joined. So let's join these. Get rid of these. I'm gonna do a object path, offset path here. Look at this. I keep doing it at the same width there. I also use masks a lot, clipping masks. So I'm gonna select all this. I'm gonna make a clipping mask, so Control, make clipping mask. All right, let's make you this red color, yellow, this green, blue. Let's bring my picture over, bring it under Command 7. Yeah. A lot of times, if you already know what you're designing for, to show the client it on the actual product, it helps them see it. So I created this little shadow. I do Command, Option, Shift, E, and it like stamps everything together. I'm gonna bring this into Illustrator now. Also wondering if we want to see this as a different color. Keep on keeping on. Let's do some kind of cool graphic here. So now I'm gonna bring in this piece right here, and I'm gonna do Shift M, and that gives me a shape builder tool. So I'm gonna make little shapes here, get rid of these other pieces. Sometimes you just have to.
Oh my gosh, that is so cool.
But one little detail I really like is like this shadow on that piece.
Yeah,
and
that's
it
really
gives
cool.
you some dimension there. I was thinking the pink background. I liked the green a lot, but we have green in the rainbow piece, so I'm gonna change it to a pink shadow because it has a pink background. Command, Option, Shift E, Command A, Command C, bring it in here. So we're already starting to get something a little more interesting than just posting the photo. Let's add some sparkles. Let's see, let's add in a different photo here. There's also the imperfection and people really like it. So it's like, look, we're gonna know that this is the product. And yes, like you wanna see what it's actually gonna look like, but how can you create some interest and really see what it's gonna look like in the real world? And that's how fast I walk. So like, that's how you're gonna see it when I'm holding it, you know? I've just had so much fun. I know. Playing around, and I think that could like pop up out of the corner.
Oh, fun, yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. That was so fun. Like seeing the carousel put together.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Adobe Live. Here with us today is the wonderful. Why don't you introduce yourself?
Jess Cabato, hi.
Hello, everybody, and today we are going over more illustration and mural-inspired designs. But Jess, why don't you take it away? Why don't you explain what you do in your career and your day-to-day before we jump right back into it?
Oh, okay, yes. So I am Jess Cabato. I am an art director currently at Paramount, but I also do a lot of like graphic design and branding and stuff like that. And then on the side, I do a lot of illustration and hand lettering. And so in the past year or so, I really got into murals. And illustrating and hand lettering actually have been the big thing. And so what we're going to do now is that I'm going to take you guys through my process on how I sketch something out, or I have a sketch for you guys, and then I'm going to vectorize it on Illustrator, and then, you know, what you need to do as if you want to do like murals in a career or like in anything, you want to mock something up. You want to see how it looks in real life so that other people can be like, wow, like this looks awesome. Like I want this for my shop or like my brand or whatever. So that is what we're going to do today.
So cool.
I know.
How did you get into murals?
I think it was one of those things where I needed a craft that used my hands, right? So I think that we are, as graphic designers, we're really always in our computers and we're always on our phones.
Right.
And I think you just need to...
It's true.
I know, guilty all the time. But like sometimes you just need to remove yourself. And I think a lot of creatives get into this where like back in the day, we used to draw with our pens or papers. We used to doodle all the time. So I think that with the murals, it was something like, well, for me, it was I had a completely blank canvas in my house. And it was like, looked so sterile.
Right.
It just was like, there was nothing there. It was white. So I think one day I got pressured to be like, we need to do something, or I'm gonna just hang up pictures. And I'm like, I don't really want pictures. Anyway, I was more threatened.
Threatened by the space in your own home. You can't have that.
So so I'm like, you know what? Fine. I'm gonna draw something, and I am going to paint something, and that's what I did. And so paint my first mural, guys. My first mural was like 23 feet long and 8 feet tall. So I'm gonna tell you guys the next time you do a mural, start a little bit smaller. So it was a really big feat, although it took me about 2 weeks to finish because I had to like go, you know, do things in piecemeal, but it turned out great.
Right.
Guys, check out my Instagram and you'll see it's locked in there and you'll see my mural. But that's how I started it, and then I loved it.
Yeah, well, some of our viewers are also resonating with that message of being hands-on and giving yourself personal projects to work on. But we can't wait to see how you get started in your murals right here in Adobe Illustrator.
Yes. As you can see here, I started out with a sketch. Right now it's like super sketchy. So I used Love because right now it's Pride Month for me. Right. And so I actually also have a necklace that's very rainbowy from my friend Jane. And so this is what we're gonna do. I usually start out with having these sketches, and what I'm gonna do is like show you how I would usually kind of vectorize things. Usually I think you can, this doesn't have really great contrast, and I wouldn't really be able to use like image trace, although I know it has new features, which Matthew in his the first session really you talked about. Yeah. But here I'm just gonna show you how I've done it, and I'm gonna walk you through it. And so Love, I used a very geometric. Geometric. So I'm just gonna use my shapes, and right now, I don't think my thing's set up. Hold on. Sometimes I just gotta reset some stuff.
It's always the workspaces, isn't it?
I know.
Right.
Okay, so I'm in layers, and I actually wanna make sure that this is, oh my gosh. I wanna make this, I do have my original, guys. So I made it so it's original, and then I wanna make a new layer so I don't like strip it. I'm gonna lock this so that it doesn't move around, because that tends to do that to me. And so for me, the easiest way is to actually put a fill color. I'm going to choose whatever, and I'm going to start doing this kind of loosely. But yeah.
So do you normally do a combination of type in your murals, or do you think this is like one of those cases where you just thought it fit the best?
I think this is one of the cases I wanted to integrate lettering into this mural just because I want to do more murals with lettering on them. I have a few friends that do that, and I think it's great, and I think it's a nice add-on for any kind of company or I don't know, just kind of like uplifting messaging that you see on the street. I think it's worth it to include that. So what I want to do is that this is like, I tend to try to make lettering and I mock it up on items or products, and just so that people can see like what is capable, what can be done, and so sometimes people gravitate towards it. So right now I just kind of did a lot of shapes to build out this love, and then I'm going to use this shape builder tool, which back in the day there was no shape builder tool, and I think I used to have to use the Pathfinder tool, which is I like don't even remember where it is, which is this one, and you used to have to like hold everything together and like do that, which
I still
works.
do that.
I mean, I still do. Well, it's true. I still do that, but I will say this shape builder tool is really great because then you can see how that's like highlighted, and you can hold shift and or not, I think.
Oh wait, really?
Yeah.
That's how shape builder works?
Yeah.
Wow.
And it builds it. It'll bring it all. Oh wait, you have to highlight all the shapes. I mean, oh wait, why didn't this lock it? Oh, because I actually didn't even have it on the right layer.
Illustrator is such a robust program that there are so many different ways that you can use it. This is my first time actually seeing what the shape builder tool can use. I'm so scared of it because I'm so used to my ways in Pathfinder and kind of being okay with that workflow. But to that point about streamlining, wow, that is a better way to do it. Just select like shift select, right, is what you mentioned about combining all those shapes. That's really amazing. Wow. You've helped improve my workflow just sitting here and watching you assemble this mural.
Actually, I don't think you need shift now that I say it.
Oh, really? Oh,
so you need to hold all the shapes together.
Oh man.
And then do this. So I think it's really nice. And then you can, similar to Pathfinder, if you don't want, let's see, let me reverse. If you don't want this, I think you press Option and then you can take it away. So I think I think it's really great.
Yeah.
It's been working for me, and I've been trying to remember if I need to do any of these like overlaid shapes and try to take it away or add on to it to use that tool, because I do think you benefit from it a lot. So then we have that. Let me put this on a little layer because apparently I just want to make sure. Love. I'm not the most organized person, although Rob, who is also my coworker, helps me. Rob, become more organized and name my layers.
For final delivery. Yes. For the final product.
Right? So then I have that. I'm going to actually put that on the side because I'm going to start a new layer and put that as like script love.
Wow. You're organized with your layers. You'll see in the next stream after this, but I tend to only design in one layer and just group everything together.
I feel you. And then what I do is like, if I have one layer, then I'll have to pick it, and then I'm like, oh no, and then I'll like command cut and then command paste on the new layer.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm gonna quickly, and I wanted to use my outline tool, but I'll do this real quick. And then I'll bring up the stroke. So, this is, I like that. I think it was the curvature tool I used, which was kind of a nice feature that I'm starting to use now, although I know it's a little finicky sometimes. But that is a new tool that happened the past year or so. Oh,
yeah.
Well, now what am I using? Now I'm using pen tool. There it is. There we go. So I'm doing a quick way of how I bring together my whoops.
Wow. So you're using the curvature tool is what you're using right now, correct? So is that in the toolbar on the left, kind of
Yes.
where the pen tool is? Okay, I see.
And then I think what you can do is what I found out is connect the curvature tool and the pen tool
Right.
sometimes and change it up. Although I don't know what the
Oh.
shortcut is.
Oh, interesting. Oh, wow, a shortcut would, yeah. I don't know the shortcut either. This is my kind of first time seeing the curve tool in action. I think something that's great about Adobe Live and a lot of segments just like it is that we're always learning something new from different creatives and seeing what our work process is like, because everyone does it
I
differently.
know. I actually was just talking about Matthew's stream earlier with your posters about how fun it is to see other designers
Yeah.
kind of process things and how they do things. And there's always a different way to do it, right?
Right.
To have that specific outcome,
Yeah.
which is always so lovely. No way's better.
Right, correct.
No way
True.
is better.
No way's better.
But this is how my way. I know there's specific rules of like how to use the pen tool and stuff like that. I don't think I use them correctly, but because I think sometimes people use it like, oh, you need to have it on the like apex of the circle or whatever.
Right.
And I'm like, I know that there is some kind of thing to it, but
I think there's also an art form to what you're doing right now.
Yeah.
And to that point, chat, if you guys have any questions about Jess's current creative process, please drop those in the chat and we'll be happy to answer.
Yeah.
Wow.
But I started getting into just kind of lettering, again, like, I don't know, a long time ago where I just really wanted to get into drawing. I think it got really popular, like hand lettering.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I want to be this. And it was hard just because there weren't as many tutorials out there.
Right.
And so I started it and then I, got
Yeah.
distracted with life. And then all of a sudden, I think in this past like 2 years, there's been like a resurgence for me at least, and finding out like Adobe Live and all these
Right.
other tutorials like Skillshare and not Skillshare, yeah, YouTube and like that are free that you can just go to. I'm like, yes, more.
Yeah.
Let me see.
You tidied up your lettering really nicely, even though that you were roughly getting that shape in at the start, but going in and changing those anchor points and those curvature anchor points, you tidied up really fast.
Yeah, I think the goal, especially for when you do script kind of lettering, is the less points, the better, the
Right.
smoother that it turns out. And I think you learned that. How many people here actually use the pen tool? I would like to know. And if you guys are...
Yes, if anyone uses the pen tool very frequently, just drop that in our chat right now. Let us know.
Let us know. And
Right.
if you have any... oh no, what did I just do? If you have any tips that you want to share with the audience, that would be great.
Right.
But yeah, I like using pen tool. Actually, back in my first job, I was with actually CBS, and they did a lot of. I'm actually gonna copy this because I like keeping like an original close to me.
Yeah. Having kind of iterations to look back on, and it's like, oh, do I like the way this is going? I'll copy and paste back.
I know.
So I see what you mean.
It's almost like an old version. I'm like, oh, I just need to have that old version. Although now I just don't know. I won't even remember that. Now my
Right.
layers kind of get really weird once I start duplicating
Oh
everything.
yeah. It happens, but I think it's I think part of the creative process to that point we were talking about like what it kind of used to mean.
Yeah.
I think what it'll always mean is a messy process to ultimately get something that's refined that you can really work on.
For sure.
The same way that you have tightened up your type here to just it's great, it's beautiful. Yeah.
It's very loose right now. Justin, welcome, and Rob, welcome. That they're part of they're my coworkers and on my team. And then you use the pen tool. Yeah, I know pen tool love here. I love it. Let's see. What do I want to do? I think I want to try this like cool feature that I wasn't originally going to do, but it was like the pen width. I did use it before.
I love this tool.
And what I'm saying, sometimes it's going to be a little finicky for me because there's certain areas where you want to use the thickness, obviously. Like right now, this love right now is like a mono script where so it's just like one weight, one mono, and then when you want to fix the width, you want to like change out the width on the like the downstrokes of things. So then I'm like in my head, I'm like, okay, so what is a downstroke? And I think it gets really so. I'm gonna try it out because I tend to we have the original already. So let's see how this goes. I just I'm gonna see if we can. Oh, there's too many points, guys. Oh wait, maybe not. I'm just gonna see what's the shortcut for this anyway.
Oh man, I don't know. Mine is custom, but it's right there. That's you're on the tool right now.
Yeah. Oh.
So it seems like I think. Oh, you've got it. You've got it.
We'll see. Oh no. Okay. I think I'm gonna. I don't know how it's looking right now.
Not bad. So the V and the E are connected, right?
Yes.
I see. Okay, cool.
Yes, the V and E are connected.
The O is by itself, right?
But you can change the width. So if I add another point, you can make it smaller in some areas and then bigger here.
Oh, nice.
Anyway, I don't think I really enjoy how that's looking, but at least it shows you guys kind of a new way to use this tool.
Right.
If it wasn't for the timing of this, I probably would go a little bit in depth. But I did go through this exercise in my last stream I did some lettering with this.
Cool.
And so this is where the original comes in handy, guys.
Right.
So what I'm going to do now is I want to make this a little bit of a heavier stroke. I'm going to expand it a little bit more. Emily knows all the shortcuts. I do not know. Well, I guess you can't shortcut and expand.
No, you can't, which is
Why?
crazy because I think
like it should.
I know, right? So I think they should definitely add that into the options to add, at least into keyboard strokes. Maybe it's already there. I only recently looked at the shortcuts, so I haven't really like dived into it. But hopefully they add that soon.
That would be really nice because I feel like I'm doing it a lot. So I'm gonna do the shape builder again because I do want all these to be together. And then this is going to be separate. So then my other thought is I just realized as I was picking colors that I didn't pick my color swatch or my color palette.
Right.
So I just pulled this from just like a image, and this obviously has like a very rainbow-esque colors. I think this is a Pride image. Yeah. So what I just learned, a new feature that I just learned, I found the the object mosaic thing, where you can go to shape and I forgot where it went now.
The best thing about Illustrator on Mac, honestly, for me, is going to the help function and just searching it. That's like
it is.
I hate to admit it, but like that's my go-to, and that's how I learned where everything is. Yeah, just the help function on Mac. So yeah, talk us through this. So
where was it? Hold on, I want to find out where it was first.
Right.
It was. Let me go this again. He went to that. So it lives under object. Oh, there it is, of course. Object create mosaic. So here, and then you can it'll tile out this whole image right here.
Right.
And pick out specific colors. And I've seen this before. It's great. And then now it created these swatches of colors that we can use based upon this original image. So I love it. And you can also I'm going to duplicate it. You can also do less colors, and let's see what they pick, like a 5x5 kind of panel, and see. So I think it's really nice. They can pull and pick. Whereas before, what I used to do is, I used to go that, and I have little swatches, and then I'm like, let me copy that, and then
So in your day-to-day, how does that maybe help streamline your workflow?
I mean, it saves time for sure, because then I'm like, do I want... So here it's already pre-selected for me. I love it. It's great. So now all I have to do is I will kind of you can actually use this and you can import it into your swatches, but I only want specific colors. I like how these colors, I just love how some of them line up together, and just how they're joined, how the pinks and the blues and that greenish color are together. So whatever. So they already have it out. So all I have to do is I'm gonna just get all those boxes out for me, and then now I don't have to. And some of them have like textures on it, and you're like, oh no, like I don't know if I like that.
Textures on like the original image?
Yeah.
I see, yeah.
And like you get you don't pick the right color. It's like some too dark. Like I think that's too dark, but at least I don't have to go back into it and like find it. Although this is kind of like a little bit of an easier image.
I see, yeah.
But I like it. So I think I'm gonna do kind of like this like rainbow S pattern here. I think these are good. Maybe add a purple. Should I add a purple? Yes.
Yes.
Why not? Okay. Good, guys, we have it. All right,
You
so
have
what I'm
colors.
gonna do, what also helps me is like, what I used to do was just like always leave these swatches on outside of my artboard and then
Right.
always have to come back to it.
With an eyedropper.
With an eyedropper.
With an eyedropper. I know exactly what you're talking
Yeah.
about.
Guys, who loves the eyedropper tool here? Sometimes it's a love and hate relationship.
Oh man, yes. I know exactly what you're talking about, especially when you're bringing in images to reference. So
Yes.
having this mosaic tool, thank the heavens it has arrived and that I now know about it, thankfully.
Yes. So what I'm gonna do here is, I actually have it from before.
Not nice.
I always incorporate it into like a new folder. So I'll highlight all the colors that I want, and then I will make a folder based on the selected swatches.
Right.
And I'm gonna make this like colors because I'm super creative like that. So then there,
Nice.
it's funny, I made this before, and these are the colors I picked back in the day, so it's very interesting.
Right.
Okay, so now we have our colors. I want to really utilize all the colors. And right now, for me, I think I want to use, I'm thinking of like using, since it's like Pride, like an array of colors, obviously.
I see, yeah.
And then, Anthony Dash, hi, another one from work. Cool, great. Welcome, guys. So what I want to do is, I really want it to be colorful. I'm thinking of like gradients, really just like honing in on like the rainbow theme of this and just like everything.
Right.
So I feel like the big chunky letters are really the best case for that. And then what I want to do is I want to overlay, or I want to put my this love. Oh, actually I should use this. I want to put this love on
Right.
top of it, and then like have them kind of overlay on top of each other, and I think it'd
right.
be cool. And so
Yeah.
I could see that almost like as a big graphic on a wall of like love, just like in one with
That's
like all the
cool.
colors around it. And so I'm gonna just try to do this.
I love these two pairings between your bolder love in the back and then your cursive in the front. It's really cool.
Yeah, I know. I love kind of like juxtapositions of things.
Right.
It's just kind of what's been great. So I'm gonna try this new tool out where not new tool, like feature where you can I think you can like drag all these out and then pull that there.
Oh right, yeah.
And then
Wow.
I think this is kind of
Whoa.
crazy.
That is crazy. That's awesome.
Let's see, what else can I do?
That's cool.
So I really want to try that. Oh.
It evenly spaces it out too. That's really nice. I tend to like have trouble sometimes with the gradient tool, just kind of messing with those values. But
Yeah.
here it looks really great.
I think I'm gonna play around with some things, and I like how
Yeah.
they have the different.
So
Sometimes I get-
for our viewers, can you explain exactly what you're doing to these gradients? Because this is breaking out of the traditional gradient window a little bit.
Yeah, I don't think it's really breaking out necessarily, but what am I doing? I don't know what I'm doing. What am I doing?
So honestly, what I've noticed here is that you have pretty much broken out of the gradient window, so you're not just using the panel, you're just
Oh, yes.
directly editing the gradient here, which I think is super intuitive. You're not just punching in numbers, you're being part of the artist. It's part of exploring these different color combinations. I think that's so cool that you're just kind of jumping into that, and that's been part of your process now for what seems like it has to be a while for you not to even notice that. It's just muscle memory. And that part is honestly super, super cool. And can you explain to me, you're like discovering some of these color combinations, but you dragged in, your initial 6 colors, but now you're kind of stretching it out a little bit more. So can you explain your process here?
I kind of, like I said, I just wanted to use like a lot of the colors. I'm playing around with this new feature, and I just want to make sure that each letter encompasses different parts of the color. So I am manipulating the different color palettes per letter, just to see how it looks. I think like at this moment in time, especially since it's a mural, it's like a passion project, it's like a mock-up. I can do whatever I want, and this is honestly the time to explore kind of like different techniques and how you want to do it. Like, is this necessarily what I want? Probably not, but it's like a learning experience for me, because like I think what I don't get to do every day, or what a lot of designers don't get to do, is that you kind of get fixated on like a certain, oh my goodness, a certain way you do things. And so I think this exact moment is an opportunity to like play out with different scenarios of how to use certain tools.
Yeah.
And so this is kind of what I'm doing. Let's see how this looks. Looks a little crazy.
But love is crazy.
Yes,
love is so
crazy.
many things. I think it looks really nice right now.
Thank you very much. Now, where am I going? Why did I do that? Oh no, there we go. I really wanted to get rid of that one. Sorry.
I see. So you're sliding it off the slider so that it's off the gradient completely.
Yes.
I see.
Okay, so I don't want to fixate too much on that. So next, I kind of want to integrate this love into that love, the script love into the block letter love. I don't know if I really want this color per se. I'm gonna go with let's see. Anyone have a color that I want to go to?
I almost like the pink a lot. I think because there's not a lot of pink going. There's only pink at the edge of the L. So
yeah. So maybe we'll actually. Oh my goodness. Maybe I'll switch this a bit so that the pink isn't too much.
Nice.
Okay, so then I think a big thing about this is that I'm gonna use the Intertwine, which is a new thing where back in the day what I used to do is I used to clip things out and mask things out so that we could integrate both of the typefaces into it. I'm sure a lot of you guys know that. So what's great here is that you should be able to do this and then it's gonna
wow, I'm still in the clipping mask kind of group. You could say that still kind of when I want to intertwine letters, I am still clipping things out or using, a black clipping mask from the previous shape. So what you're doing right now is super intuitive. I've seen so many Instagram reels, but to that point, sometimes social media can be so overpowering that it's not something you always think about. So seeing you do this right now is actually helping me learn so many new tools, not just the Intertwine, but this is really fun. So what is happening here? Is it like blocking out that shape?
Yes.
Do you know?
I think it's like technically masking it out for you, which is nice without having, like before, I think I used to have to like duplicate the letter and then put it on top and then cut out a different part of the letter. So this honestly takes out hours of work depending on what you're gonna do. Just because like once you make a mistake, you're like, well, I need to move it out up like 10 pixels. And you're like, what?
You ruined the whole design.
I have to redo this
My
again.
system of clipping masks has just been ruined.
So look, I think this is starting to look pretty cool. So now I think I want to start, I'm going to go a little quicker because I want to hit some other stuff. I am going to I'm going to do the pucker and bloat, which I think is some people's favorites, which I know Jess from the other thing. And I'm going to make some flowers and hearts real quick. And then I want to add like some kind of cool design. So I'm going to use this hexagon. Polygon's like a general term, right?
Polygon's a general term. Yeah.
I don't know. Okay, so then I am going to do this distort stuff to make a flower, pucker and bloat, I mean. And look at that.
Wow.
So
is there a reason you're using a hexagon specifically?
It's the number of sides. So then was the 6 sides. So then you get 6 petals. So, but then you can actually, do you see that plus and minus sign right around here?
Yes, I do.
You can add on to it and take it away.
Oh, wow.
Where'd you go, buddy? There it is. So yeah. I'm gonna
Wow,
use
there are
that.
so many crazy tools. Oh, I would normally go into like effects and transform and then just do it that way.
I would
but-
used to probably do a radial,
Yeah.
which is still pretty great. I think they changed it a lot. But I want to do kind of like almost like a 60s vibe where I'm gonna start adding. Actually, I found this out before. I want to add like offset paths to make kind of like different layers of strokes on top of each other.
Yeah.
But you can't do that once you apply to effect to the polygon. So I'm going to
Right.
actually exit out of this. And then I am going to go to my appearance panel. And then what I want to do is I want to have that fill there. And then I'm going to add another fill color.
Right.
So, which is this filled in block. And
This
I'm
is
going to
all
change
new
the
territory to
color.
me. Okay.
I'm going to add blue. And then what I'm going to do is go to the effects and add a path. Go to the offset path. And so offset there. I'm going to do round because I know we're going to have flowers. So I have that. I'm going to make this like a little bit bigger. All right. So then I'm going to do another fill.
Wow.
And I'm gonna do that, and I think I want to do green, but then I want to make this offset path. Oh,
Doubling up on effects, I see.
let me delete this real quick. Where did it go?
So are you trying to keep your fills, or are you trying
Yes.
to? Oh, I see.
Trying to keep my fills.
Awesome.
Oh wait, I think I was doing a stroke. Hold on.
Right.
And then I'm gonna add that. And hold on, it's gonna be really cool. Kind of, maybe.
It's part of like all the process where you have to like set up, and bam, fireworks.
I know.
Literally.
Let's see if this works. Okay, well right now, I don't know what I'm doing wrong.
Yeah, well, I was really curious more kind of about the whole, your flower process. What was the tool you said it was? It was
The pucker and bloat.
The pucker and bloat. When did you first start using that in your workflow?
I think recently I have started doing that because I started doing that just because the new feature came out, and so
I see.
I'm really into. I thought it was really cool because I'm really into florals and really into flowers. So then once that came out, I was like, oh my goodness, this is insane.
What did your old workflow look like then? If you love flowers, how would you like build it out, like pen tool by pen tool, or was there? You mentioned there was a different workaround that you had before pucker.
Yeah, so what I would do is I either pen tool out if a flower or like get an oval shape and then pen tool that in to make it a little like
Right.
point at the end, and then probably do repeated and then change the radius and like repeat that,
Wow.
all around. So it was a little bit more of a time commitment. But so we're just gonna go with this, and then I'm gonna do the effect is the pucker and bloat right here in the distortion and transform. And so there we go.
Wow.
But what I really did like about this, and I wanted to show, is that sometimes I want to repeat this process on my graphics panel. And so I want to save it into, where is it? Because I want to like replicate this on, but I guess I could just do the tool dropper. Anyway, so I'm going to do that. And then I also have saved it on other ones. So I'm going to fast forward, and I'm going to, I really made it over here.
Oh wow.
Okay,
I had
so
no idea that was over there already. Wow.
guys, I did this really quick. Woo, ta-da. So I used the same kind of the pucker and bloat effects, and then I did do it correct here. I don't know why it works here, but what I did was like I added on the fills,
Right.
and then I did like offset paths for all of them.
Right.
And so then it built layer upon layer. And so then I was able to create kind of like in the appearance panel or in the, not graphics. Is it graphics? Let me just see. Do you guys remember where the panel is where you can save all your effects and then you can apply it to the other things.
Whoa,
I keep thinking it's like...
I just used the eyedropper tool. Oh, wow.
It's not the eyedropper tool.
I'm learning so much right now.
But I can't remember what it is. Oh, hi, Nicole. I just saw you over there.
Oh, hi, Nicole. Hi.
Welcome. Anyway, so where am I? Yeah, so if you guys can figure that out, I thought it was the...
Carol is saying that it's the graphic styles.
Yes, graphic styles. Where is
So
that?
if we can't find it on our windows, we can go
There
to
it is. Okay,
Oh,
so I do have it saved. So I basically, what I do is like if I want this one, I'll pull it over and then it'll make that. So now that if I want to make kind of like another shape, I can then add that style onto it.
oh, so it saves the fills.
It saves
as-
the
Wow.
It saves the fills
Wow.
or whatever you want to do. Yeah, fills. But then let's see. Again, I probably should have done it when it was just before I made the pucker and bloat effect, because then it obviously saved the actual pucker and bloat effect. But at least this saved the actual like offset path. So then now when I do the effect of the pucker and bloat, then I can actually still change the number of, I should be able to change the number of, and like do a lot of them and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I love that. That's great. Okay, so let's say that my wonderful layout is looking great, and I feel like this could be a cool design, kind of like on a street wall. It's really giving me like Jason, what's his name? Do you guys know Jason, the muralist? I feel like this is
Oh,
giving me
Jason
his...
Nash, is it? Is that? No.
I forget what his name is.
Are you talking? He was a presenter at Adobe
Yes,
Max, correct?
him.
Yes.
This is giving me his vibes right now.
Right. Let's see.
Um,
I'm just gonna look
yeah,
it up
look him
really
up.
quickly so we know.
So I actually did this before just in case we didn't ran out of time, and I want to make sure we have some time to go on Photoshop and do some like cool things with that. I made a heart and I did the effects to that, and then I made little stars. The star one I used was basically Emily used this earlier, where you use the star tool, and then you can actually change the points also.
Right.
So I wanted only the 4-point star, and they kind of changed in like the angles and stuff and made a little curve. So anyway, so that's just how you make those little miniature stars.
Yeah. And the artist you were thinking about was Jason Naylor. So
Yes.
I got the last name. I got the first 2 letters of the last name. I got the rest wrong, but it was
It's all
still
good.
somewhere there. But yeah, I love your use of your pinks and your orange, your warm tones, complementing your cool tones. It's so nice. Bree Bass Pixels is saying the same thing. She loves the color, or they love the colors, and it's looking great.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys. Okay, so now let's say this is like the final product. I think I would probably, if it wasn't on our live stream, I'd probably spend more hours on kind of finessing this.
Right.
So what I was able to do was like, I want this to live on some kind of background. So I went on Adobe stock and I picked out like different backgrounds that potentially could live. And so I have, that was pretty cool, this cool, and that one's almost like a poster X sign.
Yeah.
So, but the issue is that like, I don't want a guitar player kind of playing.
Blocking
in front.
your beautiful wall that you're gonna put your design on.
I know, right?
We're gonna have to say bye.
So there is this new feature that I think is so sick, guys, that it's called the remove tool.
Okay.
And so what this really amazed me, and I hope everyone's watching this because it's really going to blow your mind. So if you're doing work and just listening, turn it back on to Photoshop or Adobe Live and watch this.
Right.
Because this will be amazing. So what you do is like highlight everything that you want to go away. I think this is basically like magic. Okay, so let's say abracadabra, 1, 2, 3, blah, blah, blah.
Abracadabra, 1, 2, 3.
Let's see what happens. And removing area. I'm like so nervous. Let's see what happens. And there it goes. Look at that.
Wow.
I think that's like kind of.
That's really
That's
good.
been. I mean, like, can we look at this like right now? Wait, I want to see like the before. I should have saved this. Look at that. Look.
Wow.
So that was the old, and of course I didn't save it. But let me. I'm gonna duplicate.
I feel
this
like I'm
so that you can
blocking your
see.
layers. I have to like get low too. Thank you.
Right? I know. I did that today. Okay, so that's old, and then I'm gonna do it again, guys. I don't know who's watching, but you guys should. Okay, so I'm gonna do this very, very quickly. Gonna remove a shadow because I don't want to shadow him. Let's see, and then do it again. And waiting and abracadabra, done! Presto! Look at
Let's
that.
go.
I think that's insane. Like,
That
look,
is amazing.
where'd
It keeps
you go?
the detail too on the textured wall in the background. So, well, I guess now it's the main focus. Now that our guitar player is no longer there, so that your mural can shine just as brightly.
Yeah.
So
I'm gonna make this wall excellent. I'm gonna tell you that. But I actually was like, you gotta be kidding me. This doesn't work. So then I found this one and be like, it's not gonna work.
No.
Let me just see. Cause I
Right.
was like, I kind of just went in a deep dive being like, I wanna see. So I wanna duplicate this just so we can see the original. And I know this isn't where I'm going to do my final, but I just wanted to show everybody this really cool
you
trick.
want to do a little bit more magic trick?
Yeah, more magic.
You've developed
Who
the magical
doesn't like
power.
magic? I mean, guys, even as an adult, I like magic. So I'm going to loosely do this. And I'm going to see. Do you think it'll be able to take the background, guys? Anybody?
I'm hoping. My fingers
all
are
can
crossed.
hope.
Because
All
I know I can't do this on my
Abracadabra.
own.
Let's
Blue
see.
loading bar.
I'm ready. It's not ready. It's still thinking. Oh,
Wow.
that is pretty cool.
It's
It's got a little something. Let's see
impressive.
if I do it again. But I think that's insane that it can do something like that.
It's crazy that it's keeping those lines very solid.
Right?
Admittedly, there's an artifact in the middle, but there's nothing another remove tool over the remove tool can't fix. So I think that was really, really cool, especially this use case.
I mean,
'cause-
do you know what I used to do? I used to have to, I mean, I'm sure you used to do this where you had to do the clone stamp. Oh my gosh, that
Oh.
was very odd.
completely other person. But to that point, kind of, if you are having a mural and you have this wonderful picture that you found online of it, but someone's blocking your design,
know.
you can just remove the tool them out and it'll keep those portions in that essence that you're looking
Yes,
for.
I
So-
think that's great. I think this
Yeah.
is one of the features that's great because I don't know about the hours that I spent on Photoshop removing people. I know they have a new distractions tool
Right.
where you can get rid of all the street kind of like lines and stuff, which
Yeah,
I
I
think is pretty
remember that.
awesome. And I really wanted to see if I could find a quick thing like that. If we have time, I am going to do that. But
Yes,
clo-
Allison's pointing out we are free of the
the
clone
clone
stamp.
stamp, guys, like
It
it
has
was
saved us time.
my worst enemy. I'm gonna tell you that much. Okay, so then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna bring this in to, I'm gonna copy this because I want to make this into a smart object.
Right.
Bring this into here.
Wow. So it's keeping all those elements and making those
Yes.
colors pop even more.
Yeah, that's pretty
That's great.
crazy. I know. So I'm using shift to kind of like make sure it's aligned.
Right.
All right, so that, and then, I mean, I think what all of us do is that we kind of play around with all this stuff and we go into multiply and then it like kind of takes on that texture of the wall, which I
Right.
think is pretty cool. But I feel like the wall to me is a little much. So what I think I want to do is change the adjustment layer so that it will be non-destructive and we can change I want to take the yellows out because I
Right.
think it's kind of a little distracting.
Right.
This is like a new panel, which is kind of sick. I didn't realize this, but it just makes it easier than going down to here or the
Yeah.
adjustment tool and doing stuff like that. That's kind of where I used to go.
It seems like they've made some updates to that panel too.
Yeah.
I normally use the adjustments window too, but it looks all new here as well. The icons are different.
Yeah.
And the labeling makes it a lot easier to at least apply those changes.
It does, and I do like
Wow.
it. I want to take down the yellow, so like desaturate a little bit more, so that my colors
Wow.
can pop just like
Yeah,
a little bit
that
more.
saves a lot of time too.
But like, I mean, before and after, guys, I think that was
Yeah.
like such a nice tool.
Right.
But yeah, no, I think that's nice. I think maybe what we can do next is that I actually want to paint this a different color. So let's see. This wasn't a part of the script. So we're gonna see what happens here. What color should we put this? I'm gonna try with the purple.
Oh my gosh, wait, that would look, I think that would look great.
Let's see.
Oh wow, I like that purple tint too that's got going on.
Just a
from the
lighter,
lighting. Yeah.
like a lighter thing. But, oh my gosh.
Wow.
I'm going to, I don't know if that works, but I'm going to change this a little bit.
Yeah.
Maybe I want this to be, hold on. So I only want it to be focused on the actual layer versus the artwork. So I'm changing the, I'm putting a clipping mask from here, from the hue onto the layer that I want to change the color on. So then at least it won't affect anything else.
Right, right.
But yeah.
Nicole is asking, do you use the remove tool more than generating changes with the selection brush tool?
I actually feel like I will more now. This remove tool, I think it's a new feature since May.
It is a lot stronger than it used to be. That's what I am kind of seeing too. Yeah. Yeah, so I think that makes a lot of sense in your workflow. But going back to this wall, so what's your process right now? What's going on in your designer mind?
I think right now I'm like, oh man, I really, I think I look at this and I want to be like, oh, where else can I improve everything? What's nice is that I can actually go back into my smart object and then still change around everything.
Right.
I do feel like maybe love is a loss, and so I love the fact that it is non-destructive. Like I love smart objects in this sense, and I wanted more stars. So I think what I do for mockups is like how do I envision I want it to be. Does it actually execute what I wanted to envision in the background?
Right.
So that's about it. I think in my original sketch, which will be here, it actually pretty much does encompass quickly what I'm doing. But right now, I think that because of the way it's created, I want to make things like a little bit bigger. I want to make everything bigger because love needs to be big. What do you guys think?
It'll fit that wall so nicely. The wall that we have made magically from yellow patches and this musician. It's gonna make it pop so much more.
Yes. Woohoo! Okay, so let me save this and let's go on to here. I think this is starting to look really good. I actually kind of like it originally on the white wall, honestly, though.
Interesting.
What do you think?
I quite like that lighter purple you had.
Really?
I like that it was like a little tinted. It wasn't too much, but it also I think it really helped. It complemented the pink really well, in my opinion. But you are the artist. You are gonna decide where this mural lands on, and ultimately you are gonna pay for that paint. So it is up to you to how you kind of put that together, right? So
I feel like I just want to add more, guys. I'm just gonna
you should.
I just need more. I don't think I had time to really look at this.
So out of all kind of parts of your workflow, between having your effects gallery, between tracing, what do you find doing the most? What's streamlined your work process the most?
What streamlined the process most? For me, all the newer features that really Adobe Illustrator and Photoshop came out with, I think that remove tool is sick.
Right.
The distractions tool, which if I have time to find an image that I can do that is also pretty sick. Just anything that I don't have to pen tool something out and use a clone tool has really just made a big difference. Back in the day, I think I started out this project, but then I got distracted.
Right.
Back in the day, I used to pen tool out cars.
Really?
Automobiles, different trucks, different whatever, and that was that's all I did all day, and I think that's why my love for the pen tool it still exists, just because it's just something I've done.
You like being detailed too.
Yeah,
it's part of it. It's part of the process.
So it is. I'm gonna add selected colors, so I have that. It's just something that that now all you have to do is select subject on Photoshop and it'll clip it out. And I'm like,
right.
Guys, this took me 90 minutes, an hour and a half to do this. Or hair.
Oh.
Hair.
Hair is still, I still can't figure it out, me personally. But even kind of to your point about having to select things, now we can even do it on our phones.
Yes.
And it's like we can make those edits right there with, again, tap to select on Photoshop for mobile for both iPhone and Android has made it so easy to select things out. But even like, you know, taking these appearances that you have between all these effects, I have never seen this done anywhere else. So I think I've definitely taken home from this stream something to keep in mind for like my next, I don't know, foray into effects. So I can't wait to give that a shot myself.
Yeah, no, it's great. And I think there's a lot of things from yours. I'm excited to see. Are you next, right?
I am next.
Oh.
It is my part 2 of my first stream from earlier today. So yeah, definitely give it a shot. Look at what there is today. We still have some more streams left. We are going to wrap up our streams here in studio, but at 1, we will join 5 Ways to Express Yourself in Any Language with Martin and Claudio. So definitely stick around for them. And yeah.
No, this is great. I'm so glad that you guys can come along. I think, you know, what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually really enhance this mural even more.
Right.
And then I'm going to share it with Adobe Live to see my finished project. Because I feel like I'm there, but I
Right.
want to make it even better. And
Now let's bring it into Photoshop. Let's check this out. Wow.
I think it's getting there. Oh, look, it has my
That's your swatch. That's your
has my
swatch.
swatches at the bottom,
Maybe
guys.
if you just expand it out a little bit more, it'll show up. Oh, interesting. Maybe it's a separate. Oh no, it's not.
No, I just deleted it.
I see. Okay.
But yeah, no.
I see.
I think it actually, but I think this is starting to look good. Oh, this is.
Oh, maybe that's foreign to the document.
Oh, there it goes.
Oh,
Okay.
there you go.
So I think that's great, and now I want to do like, although gradients on murals are very, very hard to do.
I know.
Really, you don't think
I know.
actually wanna
Maybe
do
you can
that.
get some blue tape, so spray paint mask, and not breathe in any of that, and just go to town. Maybe give it a shot. But all those iterations with whatever color the wall is honestly looked so gorgeous.
Yeah.
I'm really starstruck by how you use the fill tool with those effects and appearances. So can't wait to take that home. If anyone in the chat can shout out any feature that Jess pointed out that you really resonated with, definitely let us know. And yeah, well, Jess, is there anywhere that our viewers can find you?
Yeah, you can check out my Instagrams by Jess Cabato. Feel free. I will definitely post this final. Quick question. Do you guys want different color backgrounds? I feel like I'm gonna play with this for like the next day because now I'm very obsessed that
You've got a long flight back, so you have some time.
I gotta go. I'm like heading out back to New Jersey and New York, guys, just to be back with my work crew.
Yes. Well, your work crew joined us here today
They did.
too, right?
Thank you guys for joining. It's been just such an excellent time. I always have such a great time here learning about new things. But I want to show what my original sketch is and bring it in. And then let's see how this looks. So this is the before, guys.
Even Nicole's shouting out they want to see a more colors versions too.
Okay.
Right.
You know, like originally I feel like I wanted to keep this simple because there's only about an hour to do this, but
Right.
I really wanted to do like all out radial gradients. So here's the before. I think it's getting there.
Dude, in 1 hour you were able to accomplish that. That is really spectacular. Nice work.
Oh, thank you so
Nice
much.
work. It was really great.
And thank you all over there joining right now. Whoever's there.
Right.
I know this has been, I feel like I'm learning about the new features that Adobe pushes out on all the applications that I think these are so good. These like little things. I learned so much for you. That's new.
I learned so much from you, right?
Emily. These are great. You guys really need to tune in and check out the library that we have here. And that Matthew's next and he's going to finish his pirate poster design?
Pirate poster, yeah. We're kind of doing something a little fun, but it's mainly about travel posters and how you can get your illustrations to the next level and streamlining that process. But definitely check that out. And thank you guys for tuning into this stream. We'll be right back.
We're going to be showing you how you can kind of streamline your workflows and creativity with Firefly.
Firefly boards is just a place to brainstorm and just throw out ideas. So I've kind of already started this. It's called Imagination. A lot of times I'll like start with images because I actually have some in here. Like I'll drop in these because I'm like, I kind of want to do something off this like androgynous mannequin type person. Yeah, so there we go. I just kind of generated this. I'll pull this out. And this also says that it's made with Firefly Image Model 3. And on that note, watch what I'm doing. I'm just selecting the image you generated and the one I got from stock. I'm going to say, you know, remix those two. We'll see what happens here, but it's going to generate those. And then here are those two remixed. Yeah.
It's really cool to just start that inspiration here in boards.
I'm just hitting download. I can take those and start using those in like Photoshop. I want it to look like it's broken apart. So I would jump in here, I'd add a layer mask. I have these like crack brushes, you know, but it's just like taking these and we'll just do this. We'll have them kind of clip to her. So puppet warp, it's like, okay, let's put a couple pins down and just kind of make this conform a little bit more to those different planes of her face. Sandwich that up into another smart object. Command J, jump it. And I just kind of go along these cracks and like select this top part, duplicate it. If you drag this down, anytime you have a selection, it just duplicates the layer and keeps your selection. And then we'll just like eliminate. So now I have the top part of the head. I could do an option drag on the second one. So now I have this second one, but I want the inverse of that. So Command I. So I duplicated the layer mask and then I inverted it. And now we have like our two parts that we can kind of separate out like so. We'll export this. And what I like to do is I'll kind of work in tandem because I'll have Firefly up. I just have that straight image, but what we did is we made this whole new image. So this is where we kind of started, and I said, no, I want more control. Wow. Oh, let's do this. Now I have this made. So the goal is like, I might be able to get bits and pieces from what gets generated here. Strength's cranked all the way up. I want a Greek statue of a young person. And I even have this one I did earlier, so I could download that. This has more texture than my original, right? Here's my original. And I should be able to replace her with any other version that I might have downloaded or want to use.
Because they're all smart objects.
Yeah.
It's going to do all of your edits. Paul, that's insane.
It should. I mean, there's a smart object in a smart object.
Yes, it's just so...
in a smart object. I really like the lighting that's happening here, though.
Yes.
The lighting is cool. So this is brand new, which is cool. You have this generation like history of all the things that you've made. So you can come in here, and this is kind of my library. Flowers are probably something I'll use. Like here they are. I just said, hey, exotic flowers blooming on a black background. I just dragged that video directly into Photoshop. Since there's a video now in there, you have this timeline. We'll go like 4 seconds in. I'm going to turn on transform. We'll move it over here like that. And then frame 1, it's going to be like right here, and we'll move it into place. We have 2 new plans. We have Creative Cloud Pro plan, which is if you have all apps, that becomes the Creative Cloud Pro plan, $10 more a month. And you get all the Firefly stuff, which I could generate up to like 40 videos. I can translate audio. I could do pretty much anything I want and use all the generative AI features. And then also there's a Creative Cloud standard plan. So that's typically $5 less if you don't want to generate video and stuff. The cool thing is you get a choice. If you don't want to use the stuff, don't use the stuff. Like, guess what? It's going to be cheaper for you. If you do, great.
There is a blog that goes through all the details of those, how the generative credits work, all that stuff. Oh my goodness.
Here's another one I was just like working on. It got crazy.
Thank you so much for joining us, Paul.
Hello everyone, welcome back to Adobe Live. If you're thinking, wait, I saw Matt and Emily sitting here before, you are right, but we are back for part 2 of Matt designing a really exciting destination themed poster. But I'm Emily Poulin, this is Matthew Tjokro.
Thank you.
Did I get it
yes,
right this
yes,
time?
you got it right.
Okay, great. Matt, walk us through what you're on right now on your screen, and then let's get back into it.
Let's do it. So I wanted to do a quick introduction for people that weren't here when we first started. So hi, my name is Matthew Tjokro. I am a graphic designer and illustrator. I love illustrating, so I'm trying to move my design practice more towards that. So
up there.
There you go.
Oh, sorry.
Oh my gosh.
You were jumping.
It's so weird to see my work like right behind me. But
yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, I love doing kind of some fan art, some poster work, but I really do love posters. I love making posters for things that I love, for like TV shows. I think we talked about like Only Murders in the Building like a little bit earlier.
Yes.
I love trains. I love Pixar cars, but also just making artwork.
Do you love coffee? I'm seeing this otter.
I actually don't. I just wanted to make an otter thing. My girlfriend pointed it out.
Cute.
And I was like, sure, I'll make an otter thing.
It's
so
adorable.
Yeah, this is a little bit of the work that I've made, but I figured we'd jump right back into our poster design. So to do a little bit of a recap, I guess this is my work that I can just really quickly run through. Some stuff I'm working on at the moment too. Some really complex textures and gradients. So I'm very excited for this, like to be finished as a final piece. But I'm going to hit my open recent files and I'm going to open poster 2. So I've since tightened this from when we last saw it just a little bit. Actually, I don't think I did at all. I think I just cleaned up the artboard. This looks the exact same. But to go over some of the features we went over earlier, image trace in Photoshop. In Illustrator is so much more advanced now. So it gave us this beautiful 2-color ship just straight off of this image trace from Adobe stock. Same thing with this ship here. I made it a 3-color print just so we could get some of the details, and we'll cut some of that white out later. But yeah, it gave us this beautiful shape and ship that we can use in this poster. And then we did some amazing text edits with this adventure waits here. I'll just open our old file just so you can see how we assembled that really quickly. So we assembled that really quick. We assembled that with our effects panel with appearances here. So I went into effect, warp, and arc. I'll just open it right here just to get these shapes so we can move this around, play with it more, and keep everything kind of neat and dandy so that nothing kind of gets out of line, so that everything is smooth, so we don't have to spend too much time like fixing that up. But without further ado, let's jump back into poster 2.
Let's do it. Also, chat, we're happy that you're here with us on YouTube and Behance. So if you have any questions, comments, or anything you just want to add to the stream, we would love if you're active in chat. And I would say we're feeling like a little bit tired. So if you're watching, can you throw some coffee in the chat? Can you throw some like tea or something with a little bit of caffeine in it to get us through this last stream of the day? We are really excited to be here. Sorry, this is not the last stream of the day. There is actually one more stream after us, but it is Matt and I's last stream together. So
yes.
Throw some coffee in the chat if you're watching. Oh yeah, and a slide for us right here. Up next after this is gonna be 5 ways to express yourself in any language with Martin and Claudio in studio here. So they'll be joining us right after this. But for now, it's Matt and I for the next hour.
Right, and I just really want to quickly, I went into presentation mode last time, but you said go into trim view. That's what you normally do.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna, that actually makes everything so much easier. That makes everything so much easier, because then we can see our comp that we made in Photoshop for Android yesterday. You can check out that stream, that VOD, and our poster here that we're currently working on. So as you can see here, I've kind of traced these mountains in the background, and then we have these clouds here that I think I'm gonna go back in and clean it up with the smooth tool. And we have our pirate ships here that kind of talk about our destination. And this is kind of vague. It has some of that shape from these clouds here, but it's missing the detail. So I'll go back in this stream and we'll kind of add to that. And I think we'll add some shading as well.
Cool.
But yeah, let's kind of just get into this. So I'm gonna go into this clipping mask here by direct selecting it. And I'm just going to smooth this out with my smooth tool. I have it keybind to 1, and then I have my, what is this called? The warp tool keybinded to R. I think normally it's Command R, question mark. So
I'm not sure actually. Maybe chat can fact check you there.
right, there's so many different shortcuts in Illustrator, so I can definitely understand if we don't always know where they are. So I'm gonna fix this one right here.
Well, yeah, that point is way out there.
I know.
What's it doing up there?
I know, I don't know. It's because I tend to just draw these out as brushes so that when I transform them into fills, they tend to cut a little strangely, like they cut through one another, so it's not letting me.
You should click the don't show again.
Oh, right. You're totally right. I should definitely do that.
I feel like
I'm so accustomed to just clicking it out.
every time you said, actually, hey, it's
I'm
your
good.
Illustrator. You run it how you want. I am
Thank
just
you.
a little peanut gallery over here.
Right. So I'm going to fix this pen tool right here, and I think I'll combine these in the end as well. So just so it'll be easier to kind of make these smooth as long as these points are together. And just having something that I can use. All right, I think that's pretty good for
more
now.
consistent.
Right? And let's see, I think the colors here, they need some work because it's brighter here and then darker around here. So maybe if I select both of these, I hit edit colors, and recolor artwork, I can just arrange some of those colors and we can just see in real time how they look. So oh yeah, actually, yeah, I like that a little bit better here, but I'm going to change this color here to our darker blue sitting in the background and change this right there so it gives us some differences here, and then hit trim view to check that out, and I like that a lot better. It's definitely helps a little bit more with the foreground because I want there to be more light back here, so naturally there would be more light, especially in these layers of clouds. That would be really good. So we see here that this pirate ship here is kind of floating through these clouds, and I think maybe I'll go back in, like thinking about it now, and hit edit colors because they don't really translate as clouds right now. They kind of look like waves.
They look like, yeah, wave or bumpy water.
bumpy waters ahead. So I'm going to just hit this and play around with the saturation a little bit more. Maybe make it a little bit brighter so that those blues read. Oh yeah, that's a lot better.
Much more cloud-like.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, it's like dreamland. Also, Franco is joining us in the chat. What's up, Franco, Ruth, Allison, Adara, Cody? Glad you guys are here with us. Thanks for tuning in. We've gotten no coffee in the chat, so chat may also be asleep, so it's totally fine.
Right.
Or maybe everyone's on their lunch break, you know?
Oh, midday slumps. That's kind of what
real.
it is. Let's see.
Ooh,
It's
I
giving
love
me
its
this
colors,
teal,
yeah.
but I want it to be a little lighter.
Yeah, it's still a little water-like, I guess.
Yeah, I think sometimes I have like my own trouble, like just like finding things to click around, and sometimes it is just kind of about, oh, I like this a lot.
Whispers.
That's the one. That's the one. ASMR. I'm going to just, is it this color? Man, I'm getting very picky with my colors. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna.
Oh, we got a coffee in the chat.
Thank you.
Thanks, Allison.
Caffeine boost. I needed that. I'm going to.
Do we know Allison? I feel like she's been here all day.
Has she been here all day? Well, thank you for supporting
thanks,
us
Allison.
through these streams. Your support means the world to everyone here, so it means a lot. And I am going to. I think I'm just gonna eyeball the rest of these, honestly.
Yeah.
Because
I trust you.
Let's see if I trust me. I'm not perfectly the best with color in my own practice, so I'm actually just gonna take that color from the. Oh, I'm still on trim view. Does that ever happen to you where you just kind of start editing without taking trim view off?
Yeah. Sorry, I led you into new waters. I said, try it out. And then, yeah, it does kind of. But it is nice if you need to like simplify your artboard or things are just going crazy off the artboard.
Right.
You're back to presentation.
I'm back to presentation.
Stick to what works best for you.
Just because I know when I'll be out of it and when I'll be in it.
Of
So I already
course.
like these colors. It does feel more cloud-like. So I'm going to, I think, honestly, the shading here isn't really doing it for me. I think that's kind of like my fault. Maybe.
How do you go about shading? Maybe walk us through what your process for shading looks like and why this isn't working for you.
So I think what's the issue, at least for me, is that I'm not tightening these points here. So sometimes you go in with the point tool or the pen tool. Other times I don't. I just go straight to the brush tools. Especially, I guess it depends whether or not I'm working with what may feel like a more organic shape. That'll help a lot more. But because I'm using a lot more geometric shapes, like what we would just use with like an ellipse tool, you could just combine them. So at least for me, it's not working. It feels too fluid for the shape, the clipping mask that I'm using. So maybe some ways that I could get around that actually are just taking my brush tool, adding more clouds to these points, because I think that's what the clouds are also missing. Because again, clouds are just a bunch of bunches of fluff together, and I think
What
we're just.
are clouds really?
What are
though?
clouds?
Where's the water?
Oh gosh, let's get a scientist in the chat
Any
somewhere.
scientists in the chat? Yeah. Can anyone give us some names of? I actually know the names of a few clouds. Some cumulus clouds, perhaps.
I'm too afraid to even like pronounce them. I just think I'm gonna get them wrong.
I feel like they're all Latin. You know, it's just whatever.
Exactly that. So I'm going to take these in I guess some cases I used to just draw these arcs out.
Okay. And you stopped doing that.
And I stopped doing that because using the width tool makes everything so much easier. I've been talking about that pretty much all stream. I'm just gonna find the basic profile width there, and because these are kind of sharper, I will use one of the preloaded Illustrator width sets. So I'm just gonna do that and add a fill.
Oh, so you didn't use width tool. You chose a new brush setting.
No, yeah. So a pre-built brush setting within Illustrator. So these 5 are, I think, built into your Illustrator program. So
everyone's got those.
Everyone's got them.
But not everyone has those extra ones that you made.
Yeah, so I have a bunch of random ones as well that I just tend to use in different use cases. So I love adding, like in these strokes, you can add little caps here. So having those little circles there, I think, are so amazing. It rounds things out perfectly. Yeah. But you can see these points still, so I'm just gonna go over with my smooth tool and select them so they get smoothed out so you don't see those little artifact edges that we honestly don't need in what should be a more simple illustration.
And if you wanted to use the width tool, you could probably actually still use the width tool here, right?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if once you apply it, if it changes that.
No, you are still able to kind of make edits and go in as you would. So I'm just gonna make these a little smaller because as they get bigger, at least when the widths get bigger, they can get a little wonky. So what you kind of saw there was in some cases, Illustrator will, let's see, you can use your eyedropper tool to take the appearances. So I'm just gonna do that. Oh, it's because I'm in the clipping mask, right?
Oh yeah, I was like,
and you can scale strokes up depending on where you have it. There's a check mark somewhere, so if any mods or any people in the audience can point that out, that would be great. But yeah, so that's kind of what I'm up to at the moment, just kind of fixing our little cloud lines here in our clipping mask. So still working on that and then shaping it out.
You're using the warp tool.
Yeah, a combination of warp tool, pen tool, and smooth tool. My best friends, my trinity in Adobe Illustrator.
My best friends in Adobe Illustrator, and that's the cut down.
and that's the rundown. That's exactly what it is. Oh, it's reading as clouds so much better than it was earlier.
So much better.
So it's definitely getting that point across. So I'm just gonna move these a little bit. Yeah, wow, it's definitely feels, it reads more as a cloud, and I think it would be so cool if I can just maybe even just like take this.
Oh yeah, some clouds in front.
Clouds in the front would be really nice to hug this text here, this type, and it would come off.
But extra puffy and like
extra puffy. Yeah. So it adds more dimension too, so that still reads as a field of clouds. So we'll have to play with that perspective a little bit more as we keep going, but I'm just gonna experiment a little bit here. Let's see, I'll take this with.
Do you have like a way that you check yourself as you're working of like, hey, is this still reading this way, or is it just kind of as you go every single thing, or do you like take a break and be like, let me look at this? What's your process?
Man, it varies so much. It really depends, and I'm sure it does for you too, right? Where sometimes we're working so hard on something, and we're like, oh, I actually need a break now, or else this isn't going to be done the way that I want it to be done.
Right.
Or in other cases, I ask like my significant other, so I'll ask them for their opinion, and they're not really a designer, they're a nurse, so it helps them it helps me a lot to get just a second eye for like the audience member that isn't an artist that helps.
Right.
So right now what I'm doing is I'm actually fixing, my shortcut keys got all out of whack recently, so I'm just going back in and fixing those up and just kind of assigning random numbers to ones that I don't use. So the reason I'm doing that is because I have my knife tool set to K, so instead of doing points sometimes, that'll be tedious, I'll just take the knife tool, I'll just cut through it, take what I need, delete, and delete.
And so, why do you prefer knife tool over eraser tool?
Because the knife tool I find to be more accurate when you use the eraser tool, it will...
It's round, I guess. So
yeah, it's round, right?
It takes out a big part. Okay.
Oh, I don't even know how to access the eraser tool
I think it's under the knife tool.
Is it? That would be fun. Oh, it is under the knife tool, yeah.
So knife, scissor, eraser, all together.
So it takes that part out. Right. But honestly, like to your point, I think whatever works for anyone kind of just works.
Just wondering your workflow. Getting to know a little bit more.
Exactly. True to that. So let's see. I'm just gonna
Fun.
hit presentation mode. Yeah, it's definitely reading a lot better now, especially as clouds. So let's see.
I'm wondering if we could go sit on the other side, Studio Manager. Would you flip us back over so we're on the panel? I feel like I'm just, thank you. I was in the clouds.
Right. I don't tend to use these color swatches here all the time, so we were able to
that way you can sit in the color bar.
Exactly. I'm going to add some dimension right here. So it's copy and pasting that blend that I had. So it's taking a second, but we are right back on time. So it's kind of tucked between these two clouds here. And I'll do the same on this side as well. I think I'll just reflect this and then resize so that it's slightly different. And then placing this, maybe not in the clipping group, but I'll just copy and paste these to move them to the front.
Nice.
This tends to be the fastest way I found.
I get that.
I know some other people use maybe like the, it's the arrange tool. I'll just use it here, arrange, bring to front, because I actually just don't know where it is in my layers panel, and sometimes we are unbothered to find out more about it. And yeah, there we go. Adventure awaits, tucked behind these clouds with these pirate ships. So let's see, I'm just gonna move this further back here as well.
Nice.
And then we have what should be a field of clouds. So this shouldn't be gray, this should be the new blue that we have decided on. So, let's see. Where's my eyedropper? Oh, it's because I changed my eyedropper tool.
Oh no.
So I'm going to go back
to our settings.
Back to my settings, going to eyedroppers, shortcut, and making that an eye. I actually don't know how that happened.
Yeah, what happened?
I don't know.
Who was in your settings?
Who was in my settings? Me. Literally just me. It was all me.
Hey, sometimes, past us, not always
Past
setting
us. It's not us. It's not me, I swear. So I need some of this detail here that's making it translate more as clouds as it kind of collapses in the distance. So kind of my thought process right now is maybe just defining some of those shadows here. So as opposed to kind of outlining it, I'm just trying to find where those might be, and then maybe using the smooth tool to determine that. So I'm making these pockets of shadows where these clouds normally sit. Now I'm just eyeballing this with my mouse because it's not super important, and I'm using my brush tool to be as accurate as possible because I want that information, because at the end of the day, using the smooth tool, we will get rid of it. So using that smooth tool, as I mentioned earlier, I'm just gonna drag this as I have it selected. So it makes that perfect line, and then going in where it needs to be with the smooth tool yet again, hitting 1 for my keybind that I have it at, and just smoothing that out. So it gives us all that information that we need. I'm just gonna, let's see, wow. There it reads as waves and as clouds. So that is really nice.
2 for 1.
A 2 for 1.
Brilliant.
Brilliant, thank you. And I'm just gonna hit trim just cause I need to see how it is. It doesn't necessarily match this, but I think that'll be okay for now. Maybe if we have time, we'll get back into it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's all good at the moment. So I think something that I want to talk about within this as well
I'm ready.
is the blend modes and colors. So we didn't get to talk about that in our last one.
Did you see I did blend modes on my last one
Yes,
after you did it? I was like,
did.
wait.
So I want to go over it because I thought that was super cool.
Yeah, please.
I'm just gonna drop this in and then maybe make this a lighter blue. So, oh yeah, this is nice. I'm gonna use this. So I'm going to make that blend using that tool we talked about. So I'm gonna select these two colors, hitting my blend tool here in my toolbar, and then selecting both shapes. So now you can see that they're in between, but I want to do a little bit more than just that. I want to kind of see a gradient there. So I'm just gonna double tap that tool again, go to steps, and then, let's see, specify distance. So it's giving me that gradient look. And these these little cloud details are a little booning. They're looking a little crazy. You're right.
It's because they're filled, right? No fill.
It's because they're filled, so we're gonna have to get rid of that fill. Let's see. Getting rid of that fill.
Perfect.
And perfect.
Just a stroke
I'm just gonna
now.
move these down where you can see a little of those edges still peeking out, which is why I had it with a fill in the first place. But because it's a gradient, it's messing it up just a little bit. But let's see. Oh, that's nice. And I can also just edit these as I see fit. So let's see. Yeah, I quite like that. But you can also just use the standard gradient tool as it comes. So nothing wrong with doing that
I like
as
it.
well.
This is an interesting way of using a blend tool, though. Yeah, right. So you blend
Right.
Blend can do shapes, it can do color, and both, right?
Yeah, exactly.
I
And
even
think,
saw. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, please. What'd you see?
Oh, well, I saw no, not on this, on a demo. It was like a cow and then like another animal, and they like blended them together to like find like what animals in between. So it can blend all sorts of things, which is interesting.
That is awesome.
Probably not what you're expecting. I was gonna say. What were
Not
you
really.
gonna say?
Actually, I don't even remember.
Sorry.
At this point. But I'm just gonna keep going with my gradients. So where I'm gonna use a blend tool, like when I decide to do that, it's like with more complex shapes where you want to see more of these lighter edges, but you want to see maybe like a difference. I think like the color I chose specifically is maybe too similar to what it was, so you don't really see, but you can see as they're wider, you can see these rounded edges, and I kind of want those for like a more dimensional gradient. But for this, it's just a circle, so I'm just going to do just that. So using the eyedropper tool within the gradient, I'm just gonna hit and select these colors that I'm looking for just to get those variations. Let's see. And then just editing it as it goes, just so we can see some of it in the corner as it is gonna get trimmed off in the final product. And then just copy and pasting. Sometimes that's just as easy. So I'm just gonna do that. And yeah, it's giving us that dimension. All right, let's do that trim view. Yeah, so we're getting this. I can move some of these. All right, fantastic. Yes. It's blocking my text a little bit, but I think that's okay.
Yeah, I feel like we know. Or you could put that front one behind the S if you want.
Yeah, I think I can, yeah, you're right.
Get a little layering there.
Maybe I'll just drop it in the front for now so I don't
Yeah.
have to spend too much time on it. Let's see. Right, yeah, that's good. I like
Yeah,
that.
that's
I
great.
think it focuses more on the message as opposed to just being part of the story, and I think that's okay. So again, we have the sea of clouds here, and I think, let's see, I'm gonna get rid of that one because it's not necessarily helping read. It's starting to like, because of the three, if I just go back, you start expecting to see more of it. And through this style transition, I would prefer just to have the shading as opposed to a third. But you know, to have that option is also important. So I'm gonna go out of trim view, just drop that over here, just to save it for later should we need it. So just gonna do this kind of style again where I'm just like trying to define where that shape is. I need to get a new color for this brush. So I'm just going to cut where those pockets of shadows would be.
And what's
in a cloud.
informing the shape for you? Are you just doing this off of memory, or are you looking at the shape below it?
I'm kind of referencing, at least in my head, the shape of the clouds here, where like you can kind of see these like little brushes here.
Okay.
But for me, I guess like as I take it in mentally and kind of process it a little bit more, most of these clouds I'm using are circular anyway, so I'm incorporating that circular pattern in these arches here. And there are definitely easier ways to do this. For example, with the brush tool, applying this with profile and then just combining them also works. But
Right.
I've really enjoyed using the brush tool recently because it just gives me more variability in the shapes that I'm making. And I think that's just more of a preference for me because I like seeing more of that texture in my vector work. Because sometimes clean is great and clean really works, but other times you want to be a little messy, and I think pirates are messy. And I think that's what's helping translate this a little bit for me at least. So
I agree. Pirates are messy. Fact.
Oh, fact. Fact or fiction? Fact.
Yes, fact. Also, Ruth in chat is saying it's so interesting seeing the workflow of others. Illustrators have many ways. So
Illustrators do have many ways. I feel like we
curious
all.
what yours is, Ruth.
Yeah, if you have something interesting, definitely let us know. Maybe I can explore that here as well. So I'm just dropping these in. So I don't like these sharper edges that I've now accrued. So I'm just gonna hit smooth, kind of do what I did earlier to kind of get
Nice.
this right.
It
It's
totally
so
is
nice.
water or clouds. Yeah, it's like the perfect in between.
Yeah, and just having that. Oh, I'll tuck this behind here.
Behind the.
And then typically what I like doing, I'll just start grouping these elements together so I know where everything is. It does mess things up a little bit, but in the long run for me, like, even though like I can be messy in my artboard, like it helps create hierarchy in the end. So kind of just dropping this in the front, and then I think these are all grouped together in this clipping mask anyways, and then grouping these here in the foreground. And let's see what it looks like in presentation mode. Cool.
Ooh. Yeah, it's
That-
definitely floating now.
It's definitely floating now on that sea of clouds that we were looking for. And I think to that point about dimension and color, I definitely want to add that more here.
I
And I
agree.
think, let's see, is this already a gradient? I think it might be. No, it's not. So I'm going
It is
to
now.
edit this, and maybe I'll just go into edit gradient here as well, just so I know what I'm working with, and playing around with this more. That is our whiter color, this is our darker color. So I'm moving this so you can, wow. I really like that difference in those whites and using those blues to define what the cloud is. And let's see that view, presentation mode. Oh, so nice. I like that. I'm a big fan. I'm a big fan of this pirate ship. Man, I feel like we should have like a name for it if I'm just gonna keep referring to it.
Do we have a name for the pirate ship?
If anyone has a name, please drop that in our chat.
SS pirate? I don't know.
SS.
Why are they called? Why do ships have that? It's always like SS.
Oh man, I hope that there's
Seven
some
Seas. I don't know.
Some
I'll look
submariners. I don't know.
Why are ships named SS?
Right there, you go.
It indicates steam engine. They are steamships.
Oh.
So this is probably not an SS.
This is not that at all.
I'm glad that we clarified that. Let's just have some average ship names then.
Right. So kind of what I'm doing now with these like definitions here with our little like shape, what I'm trying to play with now is using an opacity mode, using multiply, and combining that with the gradients just to get more dimension and color. So just using my eyedropper tool, taking this from our backdrop, you can see the differences kind of already. And then to make that just a tad darker, we're just going to hit multiply to get that information. And it's already translating just as nicely.
So cool.
So let's see if I don't know. I feel like maybe we should go with the full color mode. It's good to have those options and kind of decide. So
sure.
I'm going to go back on my word.
You were discovering in the process.
I know. I think that's the best part about doing any of this. It's just kind of finding new ways, and that's honestly how you learn in Illustrator. Like that's how I've learned most of my process now in Illustrator, and it's definitely benefited me quite a bit now. And looking back on it, it's just a lot of fun.
What advice would you give to people who are like just starting in Illustrator, who are a little bit nervous to get started, or like don't have their style yet? Like, how would you encourage them to engage with Illustrator off the bat?
I think it's really good to play with those vector points first, but I think in time definitely lean more into the fluid aspects of illustrating. I think, like for me, for the longest time, I got so obsessed with making it perfect that I think it hindered my performance quite a bit.
Sure.
But after kind of sitting with a lot of character artists that use Illustrator very frequently and seeing how they do it, they still start with sketches. They still draw, and I think that part is so important that I kind of forgot about it for a second just because I was so focused on getting perfect with it. So fixing that was definitely the best thing I think I could have done for me. So yeah. But now I am just kind of going in, and this is a little bit more messy than this one, maybe just because the file size was smaller.
Sure.
So I think I want to kind of go in and fix this a little. I know I can just get rid of some of these right here because these were image traced with the overlap feature. And I think in some cases, this might take too long for our stream. I would actually just combine the whole thing into you know what?
We got about 25 minutes left.
Let's just do it. So
take us there, Matt.
I'm gonna just copy a very quick version of this off the page, just in case we still need it, and it'll have some good details for us to kind of still keep. So I'm just gonna combine these and just go in with the smooth tool. So the smooth tool is fixing all those rough edges I had from the image trace, and let's see, just getting these clean versions here. I think it's pretty important, at least because this is in the background, to not be super detailed, because then I feel like it would just feel like a mistake as opposed to a choice. So making sure that we as artists or illustrators make those choices ourselves and kind of like at least put out what we think to be really important, I think is great. So wow, that fixed that edge so quickly using this smooth tool here. So I'm just going in, fixing these, and where I feel like it needs to have like a sharper edge, I'll just throw in a rectangle tool, or I'll just use the rectangle tool to get that. Or in some cases using under the knife tool, which I have here, using the eraser tool, just going into, I think in those cases, I would use the eraser tool where I'm just trying to get rid of edges and I don't really care how the rest of the shape is turning out, especially if it's on the outside.
Nice.
So again, focusing in on this, using a direct select and just kind of going over this. And you can also just change the accuracy of these. So I just tend to have mine at a higher smooth because I make crazy points like this one. So yeah, and I think this is supposed to be like, is this the back end? If this is the back end,
I don't
feel
know
like
ship
I
parts,
can.
but that's the back end for sure.
Right?
The stern or the bow, one of the two.
In another life, I'm a pirate. And
Oh.
that's where we are here.
Do you really feel that way?
No, not at all.
Okay. I was like, oh, you ready?
No. I
In another
think
life, I want to be like a dog or something. But if you want to be a pirate, you go off.
I think, oh man, what would I want to be? I don't know. I think there's something really cool about like
Seven seas.
the sevens, like. No, I wouldn't want to be on the Titanic per se, but I think there's something really cool about like old-fashioned steam liners. And initially,
Okay.
like when I was kind of drafting what we would do for this event, I thought I was gonna make a steam liner. But then on Adobe stock, I saw a pirate ship, and I was like, okay,
I could be into it.
I'm a pirate ship now. Like it's gonna be a pirate ship now. So yeah, I'm going through this and just kind of adding these straighter lines with this rectangle to then just use the Pathfinder tool, or in some cases, for most people, the shapebuilder tool, which I do not use
I
normally.
don't use the shapebuilder tool either.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting.
But I watch people use it, and I'm like, oh, I could see the benefit. But I never reach for it.
Right? And honestly, just to like make this workflow so much easier, I'm just copy and pasting some of these rectangles.
So smart.
Because at the end of the day, like rectangles are so easy to resize.
Yep.
So just taking this, dropping this here, and then maybe just like finishing this off with a smooth line, and then, yeah.
That's an interesting approach. I like that.
Thank you. And then finally, we need like our mast. Nope, that's definitely not what it is. The front of the ship.
I feel like it's the stern. Let me see.
Oh my gosh, we're just learning about,
boat names or boat diagram.
Oh, thank you. We're learning so much today.
We're learning
more
everything.
about Illustrator and boats. Look at that. Look at us.
Look
Who would've
at
thought?
us.
Who would have thought?
It is the bow.
It is the bow. Yes, we're gonna. Wow, who knew you'd be sitting here today in San Francisco?
I do what I
learning,
can,
you
you
do
know?
what you can to learn more about ships. But this is how we cleaned up our illustration here, and I
That was
think I
super
only did
fast.
that in 6 minutes.
Yeah.
More or less. So, we have time. I'll go through here just really quickly, just to keep up with that. So, using the eraser tool. Wait, let's see. Oh, it's Shift E for the eraser tool. Okay, I just got my keybinds wrong. So you can just go in and just erase things, smoothing them out, and then kind of keeping with that erase function as you go to get those smooth lines super quickly if you're on a deadline. And let's see, building those shapes, I think, will eventually lead to making incredibly complex shapes. I guess kind of like this one. So, yeah.
Is this typically how you start off? So like say your client came to you and they're like, we need a poster for our boat, and you were like, I'm on it. Is this typically how you would start, and you would show this to them as like proof of concept, or where is this at in your typical process?
I think I would, at least now, I would start with a sketch. Definitely sketch before kind of leaning into more about the assembly. I normally do not image trace as often. I think I only do it in certain cases where, you need to put that composition together fast, right?
Right.
But I try to draw as much as I can, mainly because I realized that like spending a lot of time in Illustrator meant that I actually wasn't practicing how to draw. So I knew how to like assemble all these shapes, but I didn't know how to do it with my hands. So I think like one of the hosts last few months ago, Finn, he is an excellent illustrator, and spending a lot of time with him, I realized that I need to up my illustration game a little bit more. Just if that's what I want to do, I should really lean into it.
Wow.
And he's been great in that sense, and just we keep up with one another, just talking about illustrations. So I think with any aspiring illustrator, just keep in touch with everyone. I think that's super important. And especially
do you guys like get on FaceTime and draw together? Or what does
no,
that look like?
we sometimes we've been trying to do that. He's currently abroad. I think he's in Italy, funnily enough.
Good for him.
Right? And yeah, he's been doing a lot of stuff. He just graduated too, and we're both wrapping up school at the same time. So on top of doing this Adobe Live right now, I'm gonna catch a flight back to LA to go to my senior show. That if you guys are in town, definitely check it out. It's at UCLA. So very much excited to be there for it, but also excited to be here making this pirate ship with all of you. So yeah, this has been a lot of fun, and I love being out here with everyone in San Francisco.
I mean, you've been busy. You were here yesterday, so Photoshop on Android
Right.
launched yesterday, or actually I think officially launched today, but we streamed about it yesterday. So you're
I
here
see.
doing that. So you've been streaming quite a lot. So this is your
Right.
last one. You're in the home
Home
run.
run.
The end zone.
The end
I don't
zone.
know. We're doing.
Do you watch sports?
From that statement,
I don't
do you
watch
think
sports.
that I watch sports?
I don't watch sports, which is why I asked.
I mean, I enjoy going to like a game. I'm here to yell
I agree.
and
I
cheer
agree.
people
I'm
on,
just
so-
here for fun.
Yeah.
I'm just here for the funds
I'm here
of
for
it.
the popcorn and to clap for people doing cool stuff.
Dude, I love popcorn. Popcorn's great.
Movie theater popcorn or like, are you sweet popcorn or salty popcorn?
Dude, I'm sweet popcorn.
Really?
Sweet popcorn, dude.
I'm
all the
more
way.
of a salty popcorn person.
So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna
Okay.
take this shading information we have from this 3-color
transfer it?
image trace. Yes, I'm just gonna kind of
Brilliant.
like draw where it should be.
Patrick has to go, but says thanks for joining. Or sorry, thanks for everything. Have a lovely day. Patrick, thanks for joining.
Thanks, Patrick.
If you want to come back and watch the replay on YouTube, it will be there for you, and you can see where Matthew takes
It'll
us at
be
the end of
all
today.
here. Yeah.
Okay, I see what you're doing here. So you're looking at the light and dark on that one.
Yeah,
And then
I'm
you're
just
gonna bring
repeating
it over.
that over. Yeah.
Very cool.
And I think in this case, these are definitely the lights. So I would just copy that over. I'm just tracing that right now, and I'll smooth it out in a second. But just kind of knowing where that is, and then just keeping that, I think, is going to be super important.
Okay, I have another Illustrator question for you.
Yeah, let's do it.
For people who are using or like starting an illustration, how do you use references, and like at what point are you like, hey, you should probably figure this out on your own, or it's okay to reference images? Like, where's that line for you?
That's a great question, and actually I'm gonna jump off of this really quickly for this reason.
Okay, great.
So this is actually a complete trace. So I was just tracing these two figures.
As in you were drawing it over an image.
Yeah, I was drawing it over an image because I wanted to learn more about lighting, and that's
Yeah.
something that I'm not as equipped to do, and just learn so much more about shading. So these figures you see here, I'm just like tracing it over because I want to learn more about, oh, this was like a hair experiment, so like playing around with these strokes here,
Wow.
and like how am I gonna assemble this? Maybe I can go into outline view.
Yeah, show us.
just to see it. It's a little crazy using these clipping
Wow.
masks and such, but yeah, let's see, is this preview mode? Yes. So I think in those cases where you're learning and you want to learn more about what it means to illustrate, I think is super important, and having those experiments is good, but when you want to really delve into what art is for you, I think at that point you should definitely look into assembling references, right, on Pinterest, or even shooting your own reference photos. I shot my own reference photos, and I thought that
For
was...
this?
No, not for this.
I was like, for Superman?
It was for these. So
Oh, very
these were
cool.
pictures of me that I was wearing like a suit and everything, where
Wait,
I
that's
just
so
needed
cool.
a reference. So I took that picture, I drew it on a drawing application, and then brought it over to Illustrator, and then just finished those out with like more gradients. Same thing with this. So at some points you kind of run out of time, so this was a trace as well, but again, it
Okay.
was more of an experimentation on how do you do hair fun, how do you render like skin in Illustrator. I think that tended to be really hard, and trying to take more of an Art
Yeah.
Nouveau aspect to it. I think that, yeah, the original illustration's here. So kind of understanding that a little bit more, and then also like you can see that these brush strokes are different. So it's like playing around with different aspects that you don't normally do, I think is
Right.
what's super important for anyone diving into Illustrator, and just thinking outside of the box.
Yeah,
with it.
I love that.
Yeah.
Thank you for answering.
Of course.
I know I'm just peppering in some questions here, but as you're working, if you, yeah.
No,
impart your
I
wisdom.
definitely appreciate it. I think a lot of people use Illustrator in so many different ways, and I think you have designers, you have illustrators, but we all use the same program at the end of the day. So as long as we are informing one another on how you use it, I think it affects everyone's practice, which is why I think programs like Adobe Live are so great and so much fun. So it's great to be here to even talk to anyone in the chat about this. And oh, thank you, Ruth. I very much appreciate your compliment. Thank
All
you.
the love in the chat. The
Yeah.
artwork looks amazing in case you're watching this and don't see the chat.
Thank you. I
We
appreciate
agree.
it.
Thank you, Ruth. And Adara says that was a great question. So chat is enjoying the questions. All right.
Yay,
We appreciate it.
Thank you, guys. And I'm very much enjoying my stream here with Emily. This is so much fun.
I know, this is great.
Yes. Let's see. And I'm going to take this dark here from this background to give our boat some more definition on where these kind of some of these details lie.
I feel like that's also good advice for people who are like, I don't know where to begin with illustration. Part of it's okay, like what are the shapes you're seeing? Let's break that down.
Yeah.
Okay, where's the light? What do you see there? Let's break that down, right? And you're kind of bringing those together piece by
Right.
piece of like composition, lighting, depth, and layering those things together is what starts to bring together an illustration.
Exactly.
You don't just get there.
No, you don't just get there. I wish you could just get there.
That would be so
Sometimes
nice.
that would be so
With
nice.
image trace, you kind of can just get there. But
Yeah, I mean this pirate ship really did turn out
A
like
lot of the
amazing.
information, yeah.
Yeah, there's so many travel posters that I've seen that were made practically a lot before Adobe Illustrator was even a thing, that were
Yeah.
built very similarly to this, and more specifically with how some of these details you see would be kind of screen printed on. But yeah, I think it got it so well, and it saves so many people so much time, especially if you're in a time crunch to kind of get that down. So yeah, it's super cool. It's great.
Okay, so we have some lighting now. We have some highlights. You're adding some shadows.
Right,
Is
right
that kind of where we're
here,
going?
I am just making sure
Ooh.
that it blends in with our background here so that this blue kind of just doesn't stand out too much. So I'm going to combine all these similar colors because I have those rectangles in there too. So I'm just gonna hit same, select same, and then fill color. I'm just gonna combine those right there. And then this needs to be smoothed out. And yeah, there we go. That is our pirate ship right here. And I want to make this the same color as our outline color here, so that it blends in more with that background. Yeah, it's
That is the
looking
right
very
choice.
nice.
I liked seeing it, but now that I see it separate,
Right.
I get it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's more of a knockout to the hillside in the background, but also it doesn't take away too
Right.
much from our pirate ship in the center right here or right to our right. So I'm just gonna hit view and presentation mode just so I can see it in its own. Yeah, so this
much better.
is turning out really nice, and oh my gosh, it's turning out better than I thought it would. So
I love it.
thank you. It's really turning out really great. Let's see.
Okay, we have about, I don't know, 15 minutes left. So
Right.
I don't know what you want to do. You want to tackle some of the city? Do you want to add more clouds? Do you want to add more type?
What
are
do you
feeling?
what do you think we should do?
I feel like I'm okay if the background's simple. I could
Right.
either see adding some like header text of like some sort of catchphrase. I could see adding some clouds. I could see adding some really subtle building textures.
Right.
What would you think? What's next for you?
I don't know actually. I think I can't really decide. So if anyone in the chat has any suggestions, definitely go ahead. Maybe I'll try adding some definition maybe to these mountains here,
Let's do
because it's
that.
kind of this like huge block of nothing that honestly doesn't really make too much sense to being there. Maybe I'll just get rid of it altogether if it's not working out as well as this one here. So we can see here that there's some tree textures here, and maybe that's what I should
I
add
think that'd be
in here
great.
as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
So let's see. There are some different ways I can go about it. I can just kind of trace these in, but that would take a long time. Sometimes I do it if I have the patience for it. Other times, other times I've developed this new strategy as opposed to just drawing that, is I'll take this, I'll go a rectangle, I'll go into the scallop tool, or into the wrinkle tool actually, select these lines specifically and just, oh, I selected the warp tool in accident. Select these lines, yet again, using my wrinkle tool, I'm just going to wrinkle this out. Oh, it's on a different direction. I'm going to go into the wrinkle tool and move these around so that it gives us these like crazy shapes, and maybe I'll just do that again so that's even more crazy. Let's see, boom.
Whoa.
Yeah, so getting this out of the way, this is really nice. I'll just use this for my kind of brush. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna add this to as an art brush, and then what I'm gonna do is I found so many different ways to make shapes. I'm just gonna make that into a tree. So this is
Whoa.
what we're gonna do. This is how we're gonna get
We're gonna
that.
width tool this? Where are we going? No,
Yeah.
you're just going wider.
So I'm just gonna go wider, and this is kind of the shape that I can just use to make a tree.
I'm locked in.
You're locked in?
Yeah, I want to see that again. That was cool.
That was cool. Yeah. Let's show that again, just so we get another variation to our tree. So I'm just gonna take this and use the wrinkle tool.
Went horizontal first, though, right?
Oh my gosh, you're learning so much more than I am.
I'm taking notes.
You're taking notes. I'm gonna do this, and maybe it might be
Wrinkle
even better
away.
to make this even bigger or make the intensity more. So I'm gonna go from 50% to 75%.
More wrinkles.
More wrinkles to get an even sharper tree. Oh, that might be, that's too much. That's just too
Hey,
much.
whoa, whoa.
Hey, whoa. So I'm gonna go do that yet again, and then just go back to my original setting. That is excessive too, so I'm just gonna tap that. That's great, I
That's
like
perfect.
that. This is good. So I'm gonna use this as an art brush so that it can stretch this information along a path, and then just hit okay, and we're gonna, actually no, I'll just do it step by step. I'll bump this up so that we can see it, and oh, that's excessive.
A forest.
A forest, thank you. And then using my width tool here from my toolbar, just gonna tap my top point here and just hit 0.
Carol said, whoa, first time seeing this tool. Carol, I'm with you. Matt,
Yeah.
that was crazy.
Thank you. This is so much fun. I'm so
Okay.
glad that all you guys are seeing this.
That was amazing. Okay, where do we go from here? How do we get the rest of the trees? Are we
So
just
now,
copying these, blending these?
now I just copy these, especially if we're just kind of going for that silhouette shape we see here. I'm just going to copy these and then just, maybe there's a way that you can put it on path, but honestly, for time's sake, I'm just gonna kind of just put them on here and then just kind of combine them as such. So because I can scale these, because I have that enabled, I'm just going to, let's see, I'll direct select this, and then I'll just find a way to do that. So just add some variations here, move these up and down, because in truth, trees are not straight, they are along kind of like a hillside. So I'm just gonna kind of copy these and
Chat is
move
loving
these
this. Carol said,
up
worth the
and
price
down.
of admission. Cool, really nice workflow. Sorry, but you're moving them up and down, you said.
Yeah, I'm moving them up and down just to give a variability. I learned this from a friend who spotlighted like, oh, your forest kind of looks a little strange, so maybe you should try this. And I was like, oh, you're kind of right, actually. So yeah, that was very helpful. His name was Sid. Sid, thank you for pointing that out to me like so long
Love
ago
you,
now.
Sid.
So thank you for that. But yeah, and just kind of finishing that out and just making sure that I have the shapes that I'm looking for in the like the pointed edges for this forest right here. And let's see, I'll just drag this over here, and then I'll select everything by just hitting Command A, deselecting the hill. Maybe I'll copy that so it's on my clipboard right now, expanding the appearance, and it gives us this shape.
Wow.
And then finishing that off by just doing
More.
this.
Oh.
So combining it out, leaving some of those holes because I think it's necessary for a forest, and then I'll combine this, and I'll call it a day.
and now we have a forest.
Now we have a forest. See, check that out. I think there are easier ways to do that as well, but for me, this is kind of how it is. I think, like, to honestly, like, spotlight maybe something that's easier. We just experiment on the fly here. I think that's part of the
Let's do
joy.
it.
So I'm just gonna hit this, and then using my pattern tool, I'll just build out a pattern of this, and let's see, I can mess with the spacing. Can I do -50 ? No, I cannot, but that is fine. Let's see. Is there? I know there's a way to do it because I've done it before. Let's see.
What are you trying to do?
Trying to do something, but honestly, it's not worth the time.
Okay,
so
fair
I'm
enough.
so now that I have that path, I'm just going to draw that out right here.
Whoa.
And you can kind of see that there. It's not perfect, but it's at least kind of some differences that we can use. So I'm just gonna stretch this along right here.
Oh, cool.
So this is a little different. I think what I can do is, can I make it not rotate? Let's see, auto sliced. Let's see, original. Nope, that's fine. We're just gonna use this in the time being. Expand, wait, I figured it out. Sorry.
Hold on, chat. We're gonna start
Hold on, chat,
over.
we're going
We
on
got
a ride
this.
again. We're going on a ride again. Same thing with the Pathfinder tool. I'm just gonna drop this below, double this so there's some variability in it. I'm just gonna hit Object, Expand Appearance, Effect, Warp, Rise, and let's see. Moving these as such, just to add some differences. I'll make this taller too so that it's a little different. Object, Expand Appearance. So it gives us a new kind of tree shape so that we're not necessarily repeating what's in the background, because that would be a little lazy, even though that this is now a little last minute.
No.
So yeah, here is our ad. And then we can use the new Distort tool, oh my gosh,
It's happening.
to fix some of those little edges I have after my warp tool. So now these are straight. Oh, this is a command path, and perfect. That's exactly what I needed. So gonna drop this in here as well.
Cool.
Right?
Yeah.
So it gives us those trees in the back, and I'll just make this like a different color. Let's say, I don't know, like what's a good color? I'll just pick
That
something
color.
from here and then go darker.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think some variation would be. Oh, I like that. That feels good.
Right? Yeah. I'll do that, and then I'll probably do
Nice. A
the
little bit
same
lighter.
here. Little.
Oh, darker. Oh yeah, I mean, it
Maybe-
is lighter as you go into the distance.
I actually don't even know at this point.
Yeah,
I'm
as,
just making.
as things go away, they get lighter.
Right.
Which
At
doesn't
this
make
point, I'm
sense,
just making the mad dash to the end of this hour to finish
got
out this poster.
7 minutes left, 6 minutes left.
I'm gonna get rid of the city because
Goodbye,
now there's
city.
so many details that we can't even comprehend. I'm going to, sometimes when I need shading, I'll just use the knife tool instead of doing a clipping mask like I normally do, just cause sometimes that's what you gotta do. Sometimes that's what you have to do in order to get those shapes that you want. So I'm just gonna copy these ones, go back so that I can have my original shape.
Interesting.
Command group those. Actually, I'll make this a command path so that whatever colors I select will be the colors that I need. So here's the hills in the background. Here's our ship. And then let's see, maybe I'll just do, man, what can we do in the next, how much more time do
You
we
got
have left?
6 minutes.
What can we do
You
in
could do
6
a lot.
minutes?
I feel like you need something at the top. So I don't know, maybe like some type, maybe some clouds, maybe some really light clouds are just kind of fading out, maybe some birds.
Oh, birds? Why don't
Some
we do
birds?
some birds?
Put
Yeah.
some birds on it.
This will be easy. We just do a little bit with our pen tool. And then we can just do this.
We're gonna width tool.
Yeah, and then I can use this,
Squiggly bird.
yeah, give it a little bit more, so it looks a little bit more hand-drawn, so
Whoa.
it doesn't look straight like it's from a perfect brush.
That's
so.
a pirate bird if I ever saw one.
Right,
Arg.
yeah, exactly.
A parrot.
And then let's see, I'll copy some of these over. We have another width profile that we can use because we made 2. So I'll just do that so that they look just ever so slightly different.
Cool.
And then I'll just copy this, do something similar, move this around.
Whoa.
Oh, yeah, that's what happens.
Is that bird okay?
That's what happens when you make crazy width profiles and art brushes in Illustrator. But adding those birds really did help. You were definitely right about that. So
I have a vision.
what's the vision?
Okay, what if?
5 minutes.
I know, you have 5 minutes. I almost want you to do, and you can hate this, like a border, like a classic border using this wrinkly brush.
Right, I see.
And then the boat is like coming out of the border. So like there's a border all the way around.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
If you hate it,
No,
so be it.
We're
But I
gonna
think
do
it could be cool.
We're gonna do it together. Okay, let's see. All of this is about experimenting and learning something new. So it's stretching out that artboard we have across here. It's
kinda
So
fun.
it's giving us that look. Let's see, what color should it be before we close out here? Let's make it match the hillside so that's bleeding into one another.
Perfect.
Let's see, because it's not, let's see, I have to adjust the tint and hues so that it could take on any color, so I'm gonna apply that to the stroke. It should update. It's not updating, let's see.
Can you expand it and then?
I think, I could expand it,
If
you're
you
totally
expand
right.
it, then, I mean, it's done, you can't change it.
Object,
but
expand, appearance.
now she's ready for color.
She's ready for color.
Oh, but it's like,
Let's see, I think I know what's
just double
going
click on
on.
the shape. It's
So I'm just going to click that, right? And then I can make that a command path. Yes, it's command path now. So what I'm gonna do, hit that,
Now she's ready.
eyedropper. Nice.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
Or maybe a darker color? No. Lighter color.
Yeah.
Presentation mode? Oh, wow.
Okay.
Okay, there we
Is
go.
it too crazy?
No, I actually quite like it. I think it's fun.
Okay.
I thought that was a really good idea. If I had more time, I think I would add, maybe I would even make this like a brown.
I was gonna say, I was
Right?
thinking brown or tan. I feel like it would kind of just bring it to the front.
Right, exactly. And I think, I think there were some, I could have changed the colors because this was straight the colors we got from our image trace.
Right.
I could have changed more of those in the time, because we spent a lot of time kind of playing with the blend mode, the gradients that we kind of saw with these new updates to Illustrator. The blend modes are so much stronger. Same thing with image trace. And then we spent some time doing these trees and the ship in the background. And I think, we have something here that's really nice. And I'm glad that we got to do this together. Yeah, I'm gonna bring it back into our composition here. So it's kind of in the distance there. And yeah, there we go.
Nice. Okay, well, Nicole is saying, nice job. And they were also asking, is it because it was black that you couldn't change the color of the border? But it was because it wasn't a shape, or what was going on?
So the reason why that didn't work was because when making the brush, you would have to, I'll just draw this out for example. So you would have to select, as you're making this, I'm just double click to edit, tints and shades, and this would be the key color. So the black that you use to make that brush, that's how you would do it. I always forget which one is which. So, there it is.
There you go, now we got it.
So with that black, I chose a hue shift and it changed the colors. I know sometimes it varies between, because I know I have to experiment with it just to make sure and see, but yeah, that's how you would make it, because it was black, and you would have to key it out. So.
And when you have those trees there, you made this by doing the wrinkle tool, which was a really cool new way of making trees.
Right.
So you made a wrinkle tool you had a rectangle, you made it rigid using the wrinkle tool, then you created that into a brush, and then you created trees, right?
Exactly.
Super cool.
Yeah, so that was a way that I found out how to make trees. And yeah, it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun to figure out new ways to improve your workflow on Illustrator. And again, doing that for trees, especially in the background, helped save me so much time in like illustrating forests, which I love doing on my free time.
I feel like I've seen a lot of that in your work. So
definitely.
Yeah, you've been
recently.
busy.
Yeah, recently I've been just focusing on dialing in on trees. So
the wrinkly trees. Okay, well we have about 2 minutes left. Do you want to give us a walkthrough of like everything, where you started today, where we got to now, and then we can kind of just wrap this up?
Sure. Going back to kind of our, let's see, maybe we can go into poster 1 so we can just do an overall view. So yeah, this is kind of what we came up with in our first episode, or at least our first part, where we took this mock that we made in Photoshop for Android and we brought it over to Illustrator so that we can make this poster as quickly as we possibly could.
And you did?
Yeah, so we really played with blend modes using the effect warp tool to really push Illustrator's new updates to streamline everything. So that was really fun. Everything felt so much more instant than it had been in the past. Then we added, some rectangles here. We blocked out everything that we needed, and then with this second part, we went in with our finer details. We were drawing back the detail in order to emphasize certain aspects of silhouettes. And we didn't really play around with the text as much as I like, but we also used blend modes to establish some more three-dimensional gradients. So using the clouds and such, or just even using regular gradients. Here's a circular gradient, and that's where we're doing as well. But also using crazy workarounds like brush tools for trees and whatnot, and that was a lot of fun. So,
it was so fun. Thank you so much for joining us today. We so appreciate it, chat. Thank you for hanging out with us and providing your input. Stick around. Up next, we have one more stream here in the studio, and you don't want to miss out. So thanks again for joining us, and we will see you guys again soon.
Thanks, guys.